actually need to. All right, go ahead. I'm going to play the intro. Hey, what's going on, you lovely people? It's your boy Roliver Queen, and I am joined by two of my lovely, sexy, flavorful, handsome, delectable, scrumptious, and any other suspect adjective that I could throw out there. Dr. Ben, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Dr. Ben here, ready to talk about garbage.
Cosmic,
What's up, everybody? Cosmic Ranger here.
and
How's everybody
apologies,
doing?
We are good. We're
We
ready
good, we
to
good.
rock and roll.
Oh shit, damn, we already got people in the fucking chat. Jesus. Oh, Steph. Hey, Steph, what's going on, brother? Good to see you.
Good.
Good to see you. Yeah, apologies for the hold up. We had some technical difficulties, but we managed to make it work, and we are here. So where do you want to start? I say we start with Power Rangers since that's a very very heated discussion these days.
Yeah.
But let's go into it. We'll talk about comics. We'll talk about the TV show. Let's talk about the TV show first, because apparently, um, it's over. It's done. It's dead. Finito. That's it, guys. We're no longer getting anything. Cosmic Fury is the final season, allegedly.
Dead,
We got
dead,
some article
dead is a harsh term.
sleeping.
Sleeping,
It's gonna
sleeping
go to sleep.
hibernation.
Going on rest, yeah. It's getting a
Yeah,
nice long
a
rest.
hiatus. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna go away for a little bit. We got some article like a month or two ago talking about how um, this final season, well, the season that's coming up, this is gonna be their last time in New Zealand, and as always, per usual,
It's the end of this iteration of Power Rangers.
and
And
then
Power
we got that.
Rangers as we know it for the past several years,
Hmm.
this is the end of this. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the current iteration's over, and whenever we get these articles, the timeline goes crazy. Probably other places on the internet where Power Ranger fans converge, that goes crazy. Um, but I don't know. My stance has always been this, especially over the last couple of years. Good, good. It needs to sleep, and if it needs to sleep for 3 years or 4 years, just so they can cook and get shit better, fine. If it needs to cook for 10 years, that's fine. Let it cook for 10 years. Let it sleep for 10 years. I don't care. But I've been tuned out of this show since um, Super Mega Force. That's the last time I watched. The last time I watched
Really?
series. Oh yeah, I tuned out. Yeah, I tuned in for the anniversary specials, but other than that, I tune out.
Dino Charger's
I
really good.
Yeah,
No,
I couldn't do
look,
it.
it's fair. It's fair. I mean, I I think that um I think it's tricky because it's not just it's not just this article that's coming out, right? Like there were other
Hmm.
pieces of breadcrumbs like Becca Barnes like updating her LinkedIn and stuff like that and producers actually like adding more accounts to this.
Hmm.
Um which I I don't think was a terrific look. Um like I like Simon, I don't think that like talking about the show before this season at this the season that we're waiting for, Cosmic Fury, I don't think talking about it before that airs is a good look for the brand.
Mm,
Um it like if he said anything negative, it could have looked like scorched earth. However, However, I do think that the way that people have reacted towards him and reacted towards this news, it's expected for people to just sort of like lose their shit over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of with you in terms of like the TV. It's okay for the TV show to take a break.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay for the TV show to take a break and like figure out what the next phase of Power Rangers, whatever that's going to be, this whole Ent Whistle Netflix stuff, if that's still even going to happen. So like I'm okay with it personally. And I think that it would do the fandom better to get out of the bubble that it's necessary for it to just keep on going as a TV show in order to survive, because it doesn't need that. Power Rangers was never Power Rangers was like all on top back in the 90s. It's never going to reach that peak again. It's just not.
Yep.
And there's nothing that can happen that can make it reach that peak again. There just isn't. There's no amount of like crazy amount of golden dollars that production companies are going to funnel into Power Rangers in order to make it like be at that level. And so like I think people just need to find a way to just get over it.
Yeah.
As flippant as it sounds, because guess what? The brand isn't going away. We still have the comics.
Yeah.
We still have the comics, which are right now honestly the best part of the franchise. And like if the TV show takes a break, fine. If the toys take a break, honestly, that's okay too.
Yeah.
That's because there's certain, like, as somebody who has some of those toys and stuff, like, first of all, my wallet will be very happy that it's taking a break. Second of all, there was too much polluting of the brand. And which one is that one?
The one
Red?
I just got. No, Zeo Green. I just got this
Green.
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. But there's too much polluting of the brand where you release a remaster of the original ones. And by polluting, I mean just like there's a saturation point.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just doing too much. Lord Zed helmet, who the hell was going to buy that? Only a few people bought that. It's already marked down. Zane and his cycle and Blue Centurion for $30. Nobody's buying those. Those are shelf warmers. I see pictures of them just like sitting at Target for $10. It's ridiculous.
Shelf warmers.
That was dumb. No, I'm serious. Like this was
perfect.
it was crazy. And so like that is enough to tell Hasbro, okay, people aren't buying it. Why continue to put it out?
Mm-hmm.
And also, why continue to have these quality assurance errors with the facial sculpts and like with certain like accessories and like certain paint apps and stuff. Now, look, I'm not somebody who gets into the nitty gritty of that. I know that there are some people that really care about that. For me, it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I understand and appreciate why it did for some fans. But this is all just like more things that add to the pot of like, why should Hasbro bother?
Yeah.
The biggest damning thing is if it's not selling, why make it?
That's basic business, honestly.
That's basic business. And so you put it away. And honestly, like for me, Power Rangers, I stepped away from for a very long time, and then I came back to it. I put it in the toy chest. I'm fine putting it in the toy chest in that capacity in terms of the TV show and the figurines for a bit. And I'm good with like the month-to-month comic books and everything like that and doing these shows with you. Like that is how I experience my Power Rangers. And that's good enough for me.
Yeah. Honestly, same. Like the comics have been pretty solid despite, certain gripes I will get into. but it's
Yeah.
solid month in, month out. And I don't need much else. Like what we do this, we got Ranger Command that we do now, so
Yep.
it's just like uh, the fuck I need. I don't need anything. Like and both things, everything that I do have is of quality. The comic books are of quality. With this is of quality. Ranger Command, of course, is in a different stratosphere, but it's of quality. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm spending my time with something that's of quality, and the TV show has not been of quality. I've made it clear I didn't really give a shit for that 2017 movie. It again not quality, but the little that I do have, oh yeah, I'm enjoying it. And even going into fucking spaces with Jin talking about this shit. Yeah, I see you. I see you in the chat. Hey, sexy. Like that is of quality. Like having
What did
fun
you?
with the.
What about Once and Always? I mean,
Once and always. Yeah, once and always. We
we
enjoyed that.
spoke about that last time, and like
Yeah.
those sorts of things, great. I look. I was late to the game for Dino Fury. I actually really liked it, and I'm looking forward to Cosmic Fury. A nice tight 10 episodes, and then if the franchise, if the franchise in regards to the TV show and the figurines and all that stuff has to take a break, let it take a break. Let it take a break, and I can keep reading the comics, and I can keep having these. And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me.
Sorry,
Cosmic.
gentlemen.
Oh yeah, no problem. Cosmic, Blackwing. Thank you guys. Blackwing, thank you for showing up. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts?
Kosh, you want to go first? Cosmic.
Cosmic.
Cosmic, are you there?
Hold on. You probably stepped away, but yeah, Blackwing, you go ahead, Mo. What you think? How you feeling? We're talking about the possible ending of the show. Like I said, I'm fine with the ending if it's for a certain period of time. But what's your thoughts, man?
Well, first off, excuse my language. Fuck Pookie and the Pookie Patrol. That's what.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. But anyway, on a serious note, on a real note, look, I'm all okay with taking a break with the franchise. I'm not one to be very vocal about the franchise on any of my social media accounts, because when you say one thing about the franchise, you're gonna get a whole you get the Pookie Patrol be like, oh, it's gonna get better, man. Shut up. We've been singing this damn song since Ninja Steel, since freaking Super Mega Force. Shut up. Just shut up and sit down. Now, on a serious note, I'm okay with the franchise taking a break. I even tweeted that saying, like, look, if we have to take this break, take a break. Go find other things to do. Find other things to get interested in. Like, if you want to go back and rewatch old seasons, which I'm doing right now, go back and rewatch old seasons. You got a whole 30-year catalog of something for you to keep yourself occupied. You have the comics to keep yourself occupied.
Yep.
You have, look, not everyone's a Sentai fan and not everyone's a Toku fanatic like I am. But look at the Sentai and try to educate yourself on where the source material came from. Look at other shows. If Toku is not your thing, go back to your roots. Read the comic books. Read the Power Ranger comic books, for Pete's sake. Watch some old cartoons I used to watch growing up. If you never finished them as a kid, watch them now. Actually,
watch Freakazoid. What are you doing? Watch Freakazoid. Freakazoid was fucking great, man. Go watch Street Sharks. Street Sharks are gonna make a comeback.
Like for real. Watch some of the shows. All the old school. All you people that love talking about nostalgia, go back and watch some of the older shows that you used to watch growing up as a kid. See if it aged well or not. Like, seriously, you have a whole catalog of interests that you could get yourself into. I would say anime, but that's a different discussion for another day.
Yeah.
But on this particular topic, I'm okay with the brand taking a break, because for the past year, well, I could say for the longest time, we've been singing the same song over and over and over and over and over again, to the point where it's a broken record and it don't even work no more. To the point where we know the lyrics.
Yeah,
So, I'm serious. Like it's
That's
to the
a
point where
bar.
we all know the lyrics.
Mhm.
But seriously, I I want I want I want the fandom to realize that it's okay to put things down and take a break from things. Power Rangers ain't going anywhere. This franchise has been around for so long, it ain't going anywhere. Hell, you have so many other franchises that's done reboots in the futures. In the past. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has done it. Transformers has done it. G.I. Joe has done it. And the list goes on and on and on and on.
Sonic the Hedgehog was on a downswing for a while. Now
Sonic the Hedgehog is
now he's on an upswing. Hell, the comics were canceled, and then they brought it back in a different form with a different publisher and everything like that. Like 3
And now
years
look at it.
later,
And now
look at it. Like and the games also were on like a major downswing, and now look at the franchise now. Look at the brand now. Look at the games, the movies, TV shows, all that sort of stuff. It's okay for things to take a break because then they can triumphantly return. It's fine.
Yep. And I say that it's because sometimes you gotta learn when to let things go. If you love something so much, you gotta set it free. And
Yep.
I've come to the point where, trust me, there are many times where I felt like I wanted to say goodbye to this franchise, but it always has something that pulls me right back in. But
Mhm.
I'll be honest, I'm okay with what we got right now. If I have to say goodbye to the show, I can say goodbye to the show. I have a whole freaking catalog. The whole franchise is watchable on YouTube, for Pete's sake.
Yeah, and they're doing good numbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really good numbers.
So you can watch the show on YouTube wherever you want. Of course, Ninja Steel and Beast Morphers are still on Netflix. Dino Fury is still on Netflix.
Once
You
in
can
a
watch
while.
the show wherever you want right now. So there's no excuse. Now, as for the toy market, I am not really a current collector of the Lightning collection right now. Granted, I see people's criticisms of it, and they are very valid, highly valid.
Oh, you got Blue Zeo too. What other Zeos do you have?
Hold on 1 second.
You pulling out the Zeo collection.
1 second, please.
You got red, green, blue,
Gold.
Yeah,
gold?
so
Okay.
I do have gold. The only two I'm missing are pink
and yellow.
and yellow. But I hate. But pink I have to get in like the bundle pack because they don't sell it individually.
Yeah.
I hated
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I hated
So.
that.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's my little Zeo collection. But continue, Blackwing. I just love talk. I
No,
just love
you're good.
Pokemon
No, you're
whenever you
good,
guys
man.
talk about.
But speaking of regarding the Lightning collection, there have been hits and there have been some heavy misses. And the amount of times that we have to call Hasbro to do quality control on these figures is an embarrassment. A big embarrassment. Granted, some of the role-playing toys that they've given us, like with the power weapons, I'm not gonna lie, those things look fire. I actually held the Lightning Collection Power Sword myself in my hands when I was at PMC last year. And I kid you not, I felt like I probably wouldn't want to buy this thing. I was like, I would definitely buy this. So there are hits and misses with this Lightning Collection. The problem that I have mainly with the main figure line is that they love to milk MMPR till the cows come home.
Yeah, but they were always gonna do that.
I know they're always gonna do that, but the problem is they're giving us figures that one we didn't ask for, and some figures that may be like, okay, maybe this seems like a good idea. For examples, the MMPR TMNT collab figures. I will not deny
those are great.
I will not deny that they are great, but we didn't ask for it.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. We absolutely did. After the comic,
I think that I think there was. I saw some rumblings after that comic drop.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
fair
that
enough.
was a welcome
for
one.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I could be wrong.
I think that falls on.
Omega
Sorry,
Rangers?
guys. I did step away for a second. I heard everything though. I was gonna say I think the crossover turtle figures. I think that speaks to like the bigger persona that Ninja Turtles has.
Yeah,
which
that's
Rangers don't realize how small and niche we are. That something like this speaks to a bigger crowd outside of the few 2,000 people that we see live on Twitter.
right. We are in an echo chamber.
Oh,
yeah,
we are.
exactly.
Oh,
Like we're in an
100%.
echo
Yeah.
chamber, and then things like these, they sell really, really well for bigger franchises like Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
Or even the Street Fighter figures. The main two.
I have my issue. Okay, if we're talking about the Street Fighter figures, the main two are fine, but I have my issue with the other two.
Exactly, I do as well, and I have issues with the Cobra Kai figures now because they didn't complete the team. Like there's certain things that like can
You're just
be
mad
big.
you don't have Tanner.
That's true, but the other girl, his girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
And then Hawk.
Tori
Like there's no
and
Hawk. That's crazy.
I mean, it's not totally crazy because this is a niche within a niche within a niche in terms of a set of figures. They probably wanted to put out 2, see how well they sold. I don't know how well they sold, but I guess they put out 2 more, and they're not doing so great probably, and they're probably not going to want to do any more after that. They probably had some more in the concept stage. They probably
should have only put out Sholo and Tanner.
They shouldn't have put out any.
They shouldn't. They shouldn't.
They shouldn't have put it. This was not a smart collab. It's a hard sell to do a $26 Miguel Diaz Red Ranger figurine.
And I don't think it is. I think if you did Miguel and you did Robbie, like those would sell. Like if you did them properly. The Ninjetti thing kind of pissed me off, when we real with you guys. Like I get it, but also it was a cheap move to reuse the Ninjetti molds that they made.
Mm-hmm.
They could have gone the Street Fighter route and built them actual suits.
Maybe.
Another issue that I have with the Lightning Collection, the need to forcing people to have to double dip to get the same figures, and also with the kind of like with the
Zeo Pink.
Yeah,
Ecliptor.
No, you're not wrong.
Ecliptor.
You're not wrong. Oh yeah, and with Ecliptor as well. So the bad thing of having to double dip to get certain figures that you want to complete a season, that's what made it hard. And and the last problem that I have with the Lightning collections, the freaking Megazords. I thought they had promise.
I got Astro, and I like Astro. That's the only one I got.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the
I couldn't justify it with the breaking of the clips.
I'm gonna get to that soon. I'm talking about like the first batch of Lightning Collection Zords, because how many times are we gonna get a freaking variation of the OG Megazord?
That was always gonna happen, though.
I know it's always gonna happen, but god damn it, how many times?
Which ones have they dropped so far?
The concept was cool. It's just poorly executed because they took like creative liberties with it, and not good ones. Like that pterodactyl with like the weird screen on it. It just doesn't make sense.
It had a weird grid on it.
Wait, I'm lost because I'll be honest, like I didn't pay attention to the Zords. So which ones did they have? Right, and that obviously the OG. Zeo got one too.
Yep.
No,
Zeo was a full like.
Oh, it wasn't a lightning
figure. It wasn't like transformable.
Yeah,
it wasn't transformable. One. Sadly, it was already built.
Okay, and then the Astro Mega Ship. That's a lightning one.
That's a lightning one.
That's Zord Ascension Project.
And then what?
And then Dragon Zord.
Dragon Zord.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, Mega Dragon Zord was.
There weren't that many. So I don't know if you remember this, but when they first announced the Zord Ascension Project, they did it behind the whole NFT thing, and it was the black and gold one. And then I think that created some level of backlash because Zord Ascension Project was then on ice for a bit. And then they brought it back. Am I remembering this right?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. And then they brought it back with the regular
wasn't like
Megazord.
On ice, it just took a really slow Well, no, they announced both. I think it was both at the same time. You could get the black and gold
I missed that completely.
The regular version was for like mass release.
Yes, that sounds right. And then what did they do? Then they did Dragon Zord. Then they did Astro. Astro was the most recent one.
And that was it.
That's it for right now for the Zord Ascension project. Look, I got the Astro Megaship from eBay, a little bit cheaper than MSRP, and I'm happy with it.
But yeah,
I'm not going to zoom it around the room. I have it on display. Like, it's fine.
No, I think it's beautiful. I would love to have it. I just, once I saw like people were having issues with like the clips and stuff, I was like, maybe I'll wait till it goes on clearance or something.
I was not
Or if
surprised.
I could get it for a
I'm not
decent
surprised
price,
that
I'll
issue
definitely do
happens.
it.
The thing for me is like the reason why I doubt I'll have any significant issues with it, you know, if it does come back, is because I don't take the shit out the box. So even if there is an issue,
Yeah.
I won't know. Like, dude,
Yeah,
the Zeos I
mine's
have
out
on
of the
my
box.
shelf, they could have issues, but I won't know because I'm never taking them out the box.
My
keeping it in ship
Astro
mode?
Megaship is out of the box.
Also, yeah, I just can't bring myself to do it. And also, the boxes look amazing, so I just don't
Yeah.
want to.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of the boxes, the new design of the boxes now, having to hide the figures so you don't see what it looks like. Big shot in the foot.
Yeah,
I think that they're correcting that though.
Yeah, but when they started doing that, big shot in the foot. Big shot in the foot.
Like, I got the Dr. Oliver figurine, and I like saw that it was all covered in tissue paper, and I was like the head and everything was like covered in tissue paper, like all the accessories, and I'm like, I do not like this.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah,
I don't mind the tissue stuff.
Hey, Mark, if you don't
I've
get
always
your
had issues getting them out of the plastic. Like,
hey, Mark,
the plastic molds would mess up the figure themselves sometimes.
that's true. Sometimes with the
So
plastic,
that's why I'm like, I don't mind the
packaging.
paper.
Yeah, I don't know,
because that was a big issue with like Mighty Morphin Pink, is her leg was distorted because the plastic was molded that way.
Okay.
She couldn't stand properly because she was bow-legged.
Look, I am okay with the brand taking a break. I think the last Lightning collection that I'm gonna want is probably the Master Morpher, if that comes out.
I think that's in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the
a lot of us have known about
Omega Rangers as well.
Oh yeah, Omegas. Oh, I need that. I need that.
Yeah, and then
the Omega Rangers are supposed to get figures. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's actually there's already a picture of the box and like all that stuff is floating around. Like, I think that's going to be it for me for the Lightning collection for now. I've got my in-space team. What?
I said that's it generally. There's only
that's it in general too. Yeah.
What a waste! They didn't even finish. Some teams didn't even get finished. Well, not even Time Force didn't get finished.
So I mean, like, so actually about that, like, I do think that it was very unfortunate that we didn't get a Jen Scott's figurine. Like,
you just reminded me of that Pink Ranger stream that they did.
Yeah, like of all of them, like, that's the one that they should have done, not fucking Lucas. Like, that's weird.
And not a trans lubricant of MMPR Pink. I'm just like, what? That's just a waste of space.
Oh, the cell shaded one.
There we go. Sorry, I'm saying something totally different. Yeah, the cell shaded.
You said translucent. I was like, they did the like metallic glitter armor, which I got all of them when they went on clearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Hasbro had that like sale, I jumped on it. I got so many figures during that sale.
If they do ever in the future the new TMNT Rangers, I don't think that I would get them. I don't like the Dimension X designs.
Really?
Oh, I love them. I think they look amazing.
Yeah, I think they look dope.
I think it's great. So for me, I don't like redesigns.
Okay.
So the originals being redesigns of the MMPR stuff was like annoying.
Whereas the Dimension X were new. I mean, look,
are new and original.
It's possible that they just haven't grown on me. I don't know. I'm also running out of shelf space.
Yeah, and that's also an issue. Look, I don't have any figures, but trust me, the whole not having space thing, I feel that.
Yeah.
I just got my new shelf, so hey.
Yeah.
I bought those like art boxes from Michaels.
Nice.
Michaels? Yeah, and so like all my figures, when I got them, they're put in the box right now just because I don't have shelf space yet. But I do, like, if I don't collect them now, I'm going to be paying crazy prices, especially now like the hiatus has been announced.
So,
People are trying to sell
Yeah.
their-
how do you feel about the show taking the hiatus? We didn't really get your input.
Oh yeah, sorry. I heard you guys, but I was doing something.
That's okay.
I'm okay with it, honestly. I'm okay with them finishing with Cosmic Fury, having that as a a definitive ending where they know that they're supposed to end it, so hopefully nothing gets left open at the end of that. And then taking time to really work out what this franchise, this brand can like do, because there's so much potential because of things like Ninja Turtles and Transformers and like Voltron and stuff like that. Like, take a look at what you have and fill it out in other mediums. You can use it in animation. You can do, like I said, another live action movie.
Get the video game market, please. Not to crap on anybody that enjoys Legacy Wars or Battle for the Grid, but get the video game market up, please.
I think fighting games are great. For some reason, this community does not like fighting games. I think that's really funny. I think they're really bad at it, and maybe that's why no one gravitates towards it. But fighting games are fun. Battle for the Grid was fun.
I think it's more about taking a look at Power Rangers and saying, what is this capable of, and what is something that people are going to actually like go for? Because you don't want to just keep on putting out thing after thing after thing, and it just ends up being more shelf warmer stuff. Not even just talking about the figurines, but also talk about video games. You don't want to just Power Rangers is a niche franchise, and you have to remember that before you start greenlighting a ton of things.
True.
I think Hasbro gives Power Rangers more leeway in what they're like allowing people to do, like as far as like fan films and stuff. Like no one's making it with like a cease and desist. So I think doing like a build your own Ranger kind of game and like in an open world kind of setting would be really, really fun.
Oh, like DC Universe Online.
Yeah, something like that.
Preferably not a live service or online game. Preferably just a straight up action adventure, story based thing.
I could rock with that.
Yeah.
Also, hi C.
For me,
I appreciate
feel online gives you the opportunity to do what like Rangers is best at doing and allowing you to play with a team. So like you can have your team of Rangers online, like a group of us, 4, 5, 6 of us could build a set and go out and play.
So the problem with the online stuff is that we saw that it didn't work for Avengers. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It was supposed to be doing some stuff, and we haven't heard anything about it in like a very long time. I think everybody keeps on trying to chase the whole. That's a whole separate discussion. But everybody keeps on trying to chase something that they're not going to be able to make the next Fortnite. They're not going to be able to make the next Roblox. Like that's just not going to happen. You can keep on.
I think you do it in a sense of like a Fortnite like setting, or you do it like Genshin Impact or something.
I don't think Power Rangers is popular enough for that. If it didn't work for Avengers, it's not going to work for Power Rangers.
Well, also, here's the thing too. Like we have to be a little fair. This is like the Avengers rollout wasn't the best. It was to keep it a fact. I think a lot of that had to do with just like how like they rolled that whole entire thing out, and like I think
the quality was poor.
The quality was poor, and like how they rolled it out was like poor. Like I think people were turned off also like by the visuals. Like I think like the first trailer was like, but I think if it looks good, if it's promoted well, and if there's good gameplay, sure. And like, dude, Battle for the Grid, I will die on this hill. I don't care if I'm like the only one that says this, bro. There was no reason why Battle for the Grid should have fucking died, because the potential was fucking there. Like, all you had to do, keep announcing new Rangers, put out new Ranger teams. Like, do you know how many other fans you could have drawn in from that? Like, I would have loved to play Zeo. Other casuals, they would have loved to play different characters, but they kept it in that MMPR realm. And then all of a sudden, like, they just stopped trying. Like, dude, degular. I'm talking like the fighters that I watch on Twitch, like the ones doing Evo, Tekken, the motherfuckers were playing Battle for the Grid, and then they stopped. They fucking stopped. Why?
Battle for the Grid was at Evo
Why?
this year, or at least like a fan like setting. They were at Evo this year.
Yeah, but again, like
But it's like they
the
have nothing
people
to promote. There's no
behind it.
content. There's nothing going.
Exactly. Why would you just like it was right there? Like I saw the bubble, like I saw it stirring, and then they stopped. Why? Like you had people coming in with the Shadow Grid storyline. That's fine, cool. Outside of Shadow Grid, there's other popular Power Ranger stories you could have just condensed into a story mode, and you could have brought in more characters, more teams, and they stopped that themselves. Like imagine I see where Ben is going here. Like, well, excuse me, like I see where you're going with Cosmic. Start off with something where you can play with the teams. Okay, obviously you start off at MMPR, but then throw in some more. Or even then, if you want to start off with like a variety of teams. Okay, all right, you throw an MMPR like a Zeo or something from the newer team and like different eras, and you put that together and little by little you throw in more. That's what the Battle of the Grid should have done, but instead they didn't. And that's the other issue too. Is like they have to keep the momentum. They will start something, the momentum will be there, and then they stop. That's the problem there also that we always ignore. The momentum will start, and then boom.
Yeah, I'm looking at Jin's
Boom.
comment. He says bring Legacy Wars to consoles and change the controls. I'm like, they definitely could have done that. They definitely could do.
They
Yeah.
really could have done that, especially with the amount of characters that Legacy Wars has now.
They can do what Pokemon Unite does and have like a cross-platform between phone and console, and it would work great on the Switch. Legacy Wars would be great on the Switch.
And then High C said Power Rangers Dark Souls with online team play. Bruh, come on, man. That's potential right there.
I think it's just Enway. Enway as a company is really, really small and really like. I mean, they stopped adding Zords because they fired, or the person who did them left, and they just never hired anybody else. So there's a whole section of Legacy Wars that is basically unplayable, or it's just running on like repeat with the events that they have because there's no one doing Zords. There has not been a new Zord in like 4 years.
I
What was the last Zord they had?
Those Zords to get cost like an arm and a leg. I only
Last
had like
Zord they had was 2017 Megazord.
Oh,
wow.
Your favorite?
yeah.
And it actually, I mean, it played really well. If you see the gameplay of this Zord, it plays really, really well.
Like
But
honestly, I feel like
everyone expected White Tiger Zord. Like the fact that we never got White Tiger Zord is crazy to me.
That is crazy. But we got Thunder Megazord, of course.
I feel like honestly, like a game could work. All it just needs is like the right developer and just like a consistent group of people that's just gonna keep updating it. And like I don't think it's that hard. Like it's not that hard.
I mean, we saw the potential with what Jason shared for like project. What was the project called? Do you guys remember?
Shucks.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did share something. Yeah,
that canceled Power Rangers game that never got developed.
You know what I want,
and you could see in those like preliminary arts, like they used some of that stuff for the movie.
I want a single.
It was called Project Nomad.
I want a single player story driven game where sometimes I might hurdle through time and I get to interact with the other teams of Rangers or something like that. Like that's what I want. Something like start out with something strong like that, and then move on to something where it's more team based. Because I think it's hard to springboard directly into a team based thing.
For me, I keep saying this over and over. I would just like a hack and slash style kind of Power Rangers game, like Transformers Devastation or something out of like Metal Gear Rising. Because
oh god, one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, you have so much freedom with that. Just to have you play as one singular character and just spam random
Spider-Man
attacks.
Insomniac.
Yeah, and just spam so many attacks against a horde of putties or whatever foot soldiers that you're fighting. There's so much freedom you can do with that.
Yeah.
I know what I was thinking now. An Ultimate Alliance style game.
I'm half and half on that one.
No,
You
I
get your
like that.
team, you switch back and forth between your teams, and then if you
I
want
like
co-op, you
it, but
can
I'm
do
half
co-op.
and half on it.
You can
Why
add,
you half and half?
like I said,
Why you half and half?
Okay, so the good half sounds fantastic because Ultimate Alliance, that game revolutionized, especially with X-Men Legends. Those two games revolutionized the team up dynamic when it comes to 4-player games. The bad half on it is just how can you make that work with trying to combine, because you can only put 4 characters in one slot. The
you
rest,
can change it to 5.
I mean,
Or there's 3 people teams. Like it doesn't have, you know what I mean? Like it could be a 4 Ranger team. It could be an original team. You make an original team for the game that works with all these other Rangers. That's the thing. Like I mean, you see like the DLC that came for Ultimate Alliance 2. Like they added so many new characters. You can add so many new Rangers.
I see it. I see it.
I'm half and half on it.
And also too, like here's the thing, like and here's the good part about it. It's like, you know, Ultimate Alliance was in, you know, the past. So now if somebody was to create a game like this, they can look at, okay, what are the pros and what are the cons of this, and then improve on that. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be like a copy and paste. It doesn't have to be Power Rangers with the Ultimate Alliance. Like it doesn't have to be Ultimate Alliance with a Power Ranger skin. It could be Power Rangers influenced by Ultimate Alliance, but you know, with like the kinks worked out. And imagine, like, I can easily see a scenario where it's like, yo, you know how many people would be interested? Yo, wait, I can get this person on my team, this person on my team. I know these characters, I know that character, and I can make a team, and I could run around with them, and I could switch which ones is like the main. Oh, listen, the potential there is untapped. And let's just go hypothetically, right? Let's just say, you know, this game came out a couple years ago before we found out the show was ending, and then consistent DLC. Every new season, you get a fresh batch of characters or a fresh batch of villains. You will have motherfuckers on their toes. And even then, those people who were playing the game, you may even get them to like cycle into the TV show, cycle into the older content. You know, they may, I missed out on this season. Let me go check that out. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have a whole funnel system right there. I like it. I really like it.
Like so done well, any of these games could do really, really like amazing if promoted well, if done well by a good studio that knows what they're doing. I think Power Rangers has potential to be really big in the game world.
Well, let's see what happens because, you know, Netflix has their own game division now. I don't know.
Have they released anything?
I haven't said anything in a while.
Any video game based on a Netflix series?
True.
Yeah, they announced it, but they haven't done anything.
They haven't done anything with it. No, I know. Let's roll into comics.
Okay. All right.
What?
Okay.
I'll just make my note quick because I'm gonna have to dip out because I gotta be up in the morning for work.
Yeah.
So again, I haven't been reading the comics for a while. I've been trying to jump back in because I know with Melissa Flores' era, I've been hearing good things about it. But I'm gonna try to find a time around to get back into it. I know also we have the trade paperback of TMNT MMPR 2 coming out literally next month, I believe.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be getting that, and also I'm gonna be having Ryan Parrott sign it. And yeah, because I got him to sign my copy of the first series.
Where at?
At PMC. I brought it to PMC with me.
Okay.
So
no for the new one.
Oh, for the new one? I'm probably gonna get my copy off of Amazon. Just buy it from there.
Where are you gonna have him sign it?
The front, like how.
No, are you going to New York Comic Con?
I think he meant venue. Yeah, that's what I meant.
This. Well, I don't know if he's going this year.
That's so funny.
They didn't say what he. I don't know if he's going this year or not.
I'm not going to New York Comic Con. I was just wondering where.
Gotcha. I'm
That's
not sure.
hilarious.
Find the front.
Oh,
Enjoy the front.
It's like, on the front or, on the inside of the first page.
There we go. I'm here.
Oh,
Oh,
Mark.
look who it is. Oh boy.
Hey,
I
handsome.
know. How's it going?
Mark, please
I won't.
don't
Don't.
tell
I
me-
got no crossovers for you. Don't worry.
Mark, please
Good.
don't tell me.
I don't have the energy for it. I've been up since 5.
I'll save it for next time.
Mark, if you tell me that you went to the grocery store to pick up a whole freaking jar of pickles, I'm gonna beat your ass.
No, that should have happened by that. So I didn't. I got some nice kombucha though.
Because
It is watermelon, so it's good for the summer right now.
Okay. Because once you said what you said about pickles on Twitter, I'm like, nah, bro.
Oh,
I
you
don't
should
roll
see
like
all
that.
the other live streams. It's a thing now. People are like requesting different type. I'm like, it's weird.
Oh, no.
brother.
You figure every other
No,
gimmick
do not
I
let
came
this
up
man
with,
eat a whole
this is the
freaking
one
jar
that
of
works.
pickles on your stream.
No, I did actually last week.
Fuck.
Oh brother. Oh boy. It's just, the shit show has begun, guys.
Yeah,
It's just begun.
I know. Well, I was watching the whole entire time, so like I keep up with what everyone's been saying, so I'm like not out of the loop.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is why I enjoy
boy.
doing collabs. So anyway, I'm about to dip out. I'll just give me a quick second to plug in my socials, guys. So you guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Well, I'm not really on Facebook that much anymore. So Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch at Blackwing 2040. Currently right now, content wise, I am doing watch parties of Deca Ranger on Twitch, and I'm not reviewing the show until I fully complete it. I originally was doing commentaries of the DC animated universe, but I had to put that on hold due to the current writer strike and actor strike that's going on, because WB is one of the companies that's being struck. So in support of the actors and the writers, I had to put a pause and halt on all those commentaries to support the actors and the writers, in hopes that I do plan on joining the union somewhere in the future. So I have to
Good on you.
Say what?
That's a good on you.
Solidarity.
Yes,
Respect,
yes,
brother. Respect.
Yeah.
yes. So supporting the union, supporting the actors, supporting the writers, and to be honest, all the real ish that's being said is a real big deal, because it's crazy. But anyway, guys, Ro, thank you for having me being here for the short amount of time
Of course,
I was able
brother.
to be here. And gentlemen, thank you for the discussion, and have a great stream.
Peace out, girls.
All right, brother. Be
Have a good
easy,
one.
man.
So that
Peace
was
out.
everyone.
All right. So
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm in the same boat about the whole strike thing, but at the same time, like, man, I'm hyped for stuff, and I got to talk about it. Like, I can't, like,
yeah.
it's tough. It's that's why I haven't done the podcast in like weeks, because I'm like torn. Because I had interviews lined up with people in the industry, and I'm like, I told them like we could pause to talk about stuff. And I'm like,
that's
man,
fair.
But like, I want to talk about stuff.
My brother's a television writer and he's on strike. It's all a mess.
Yeah,
Wow.
Well, don't worry.
I mean, I'm still gonna hype stuff up, so I don't care.
We're gonna circle back to the strike. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't
Let's
worry.
Yeah, there's
But yeah, let's delve into the comics. So I think the last time we spoke, I don't think Flores' run had kicked off yet.
It hadn't. No.
So
I thought it did. We talked about it during Once and Always. It was like 3 months ago. Yeah, Once and
we
Always.
spoke during Once and Always.
So it was post 100.
Oh, post 100. Okay.
But
But yeah,
it was
so
only like
let's.
103 or something.
Yeah, I was
105.
really early into it. It was
Not
like,
even. Yeah, maybe like. Yeah, like I said, maybe 105.
Yeah. So how do we feeling? I'm having a great time with Melissa Flores' run. You know, it started off the ground just like running. I guess my only critique with it is just like I kind of wish we kind of like took a little bit of a breather, because I feel like we went into Atarian War. We had that little bit of a break with Matt Groom. Then we went into 100, and I feel like from 100 it's just been like all systems go.
It's been very much like stepping on the gas.
Exactly. Yeah. And like I like the character interactions. I do feel a little bit that Tommy has taken a little bit of a back seat. I don't feel his presence as much,
Good.
considering he's the leader.
You say good.
Also, I don't know. I feel like we can get into that a little bit later. I do feel like the only really severe downside is like I did not appreciate the coinless. I hate everything about it. You know how people were starting to get a little bit tired of Draken, and my defense has always been like I think Draken was hot, and then they took him down a notch, and he's kind of been chilling. I'm starting to feel the Draken fatigue, especially after the cornless. I kind of wish he was not here or just kind of off doing his own thing where we didn't see him. I would have preferred him not be here instead of what we got. I
would have preferred
like
Melissa
this at
actually
all.
write that book. I don't understand. Like, so there. I don't know why Power Rangers has been doing this, but it feels like for these Unlimiteds, if an Unlimited is part of a main event that the main writer is writing, then that main writer should be writing that Unlimited.
Yeah.
Or at least co-writing it.
Or at least co-writing
Yeah,
it.
or at
Because
least co-writing.
something felt very off reading that book.
Yeah, Adam, like, I don't know much about him as a writer, but like I'm the exact opposite. Like, this made me actually like intrigued by all the Draken stuff going on because I was burnt out, and then I'm like, but now they're explaining more of this whole like the coinless, and then you have like Bulk and how he is towards Skull with everything that happened to him, and then you have Kimberly with everything that happened to Zach, and I'm just sitting there like, can this be brought into the main run more instead of being a one shot? That side of the whole entire everything I'm really intrigued about.
I don't know if any of you remember this, but Kyle Higgins did pitch a coinless TV series.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
We had that combo.
And this feels like this is what I like. It probably not what it was going to be, but like still keeping your hand in that universe and still like trying to milk it to some extent. And there's some good parts to it, and there's some like really like kind of boring parts to it. Like the parts with Zach and Trini felt very boring to me. I would have preferred if we focused more on Draken and Kia than anything. And Dane.
I think the biggest issue I had with this is just like I don't think Adam. I think Adam read the cliff notes of
right.
Drake and New Dawn, and he didn't really read it because like this is an issue
There's
that
a lot
I'm
of
having
inconsistencies.
this this is an issue that I'm noticing a lot with like the big two. It's just like, yo, editors are not editing. They not editing. Like,
yeah,
I had so many fucking questions at the end of that. I was like, wait, how is it that these power coins are cracked? Wait, so you telling me all I got to do is like fucking glue power coins together and they work?
Right.
Oh wait, okay, that's crazy because there's a whole like infamous episode called Always a Chance where the motherfucker who used a cracked power coin, he almost died. I saw none of that here.
Maybe they use space glue.
And then
space glue.
And then okay, where did the power coins come from? Where did this fucking dragon coin come from? What is going on? Like, where the fuck did what's her name get a chance to morph again? How is she morphed and that morph is not glitching out? I had so many questions.
Where is Dark Andros?
Well, I think that there were definitely some aspects of Draken New Dawn that they wanted to abandon.
Yeah.
And that was probably the Dark Andros or whatever. I think that Power Rangers comics as a whole has a very large accessibility issue. And I've spoken very heavily like that these books need a recap page.
They started doing it after we talked about it. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there are certain issues that do say read like issue something or
that's not a recap page.
That's an
editor's note.
That's an editor's note. That's not enough. I need something that like catches me up on what happened in the previous.
It's usually
issue.
when you turn the first page, there'd be like a little maybe a sidebar at the bottom that says
that Marvel
this
does,
is what happened last time.
I believe DC does.
I don't read enough comics to be like knowing that.
Yeah, no, it's okay, but like that's a big problem I think with Power Rangers because it makes it hard to stay with the story.
I mean, I'm gonna be this is the one time where I think not having an editor's note was probably for the best. Because again, it's clear that whoever his Adam, their name is, I don't think they really read it. So I can only imagine if there was editors though that say, "Hey, read Drake and New Dawn." You read Drake and New Dawn, which is a shit show in itself.
You're gonna hate everything.
You read this, and you're gonna have even more questions. So then that's even more of an accessibility problem. I think the problem with this is just like it's whenever. I think I mentioned it last time. It feels like the people who are doing the Unlimiteds and whoever's doing the main writing, it's like there's two separate offices and they're working against each other.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know if that's the editor thing or if it's a writer thing.
I think it's not even an edit. I think it's more of an editor thing. Because it's like and maybe even a writer thing, because it's like how I interpret it is like, okay, let's say for example, Melissa Flores. Okay, Melissa Flores is writing. Cool. Can somebody at least fucking take it to Melissa? Like, hey, Melissa, because she's the one who has, like she knows the Bible inside and out. Okay, Melissa, hey, does this work? Like what's going on? Do I need to fix anything? It's in Melissa and the editors, but it sounds like they're not even talking to either. And it's like, hey, we need an Unlimited series. Yo, go write this and then just put it out, and nobody's checking with each other. That's like,
what did you think? What did you think of Hyperforce?
Hyperforce, I don't know Hyperforce, but from what I read from Hyperforce and the little knowledge that I know about Hyperforce, is like, okay, this felt like it was handled with care. I felt that more.
It was just like the live stream. It was just like the RPG. Yeah. It was so chaotic and funny and self-aware.
I never saw Hyperforce. I knew of it. I'm in that minority where like I can play D&D and tabletop games. I can't watch other people.
I watched each one once, and it was hard to follow.
I could only watch this one because it was people from Rangers.
Yeah, like I actually
if it was just randoms, I would not have been able to do it.
Yeah.
But because they had actual Rangers, like, and people from like the brand, like Melissa and Jason, like, I was able to get through it. And because they had cameos and stuff, but if
some of them cameos, like clips on like Twitter and stuff.
I think the Hyperforce comic, it's really great that they got to do something that was like very much clearly like a passion project and very much like a labor of love. However, comes 5 years after the show has already ended, a show that really was like niche within niche within niche within, like so many layers, and that's a very hard sell. For what it was, I think it was okay. I think it focused a little too much on Chloe, honestly.
I think that was inevitable because that's how the show ended up. The show ended focusing on Chloe.
Fine, but like I'm looking at this cover and I see these 6 Rangers. I want to see like the 6 Rangers. I don't want to just see like Chloe's drama, I want to see the 6 Rangers. I understand that they wanted to pick it up from where Hyperforce left off. The Hyperforce proper left off. We'll see what happens. I do not think that we will get a Hyperforce series. I think that if they were, it's not happening.
I don't think so either.
And if we were to get one, it would be a terrible idea. I like the idea of these characters popping up in the main series proper.
Yeah, same.
My thing is like it felt very like me reading it, not knowing much about Hyperforce. I honestly could not get into it. I don't know these characters' backstories. I don't know their relationships with each other. So when it's like the moment, and I've watched, was it Ranger Review George? All the Hyperforce like bulk stuff right after I read it, because I was like, let me read it as someone who knows nothing first, then get all the context. And even then, I'm like, okay, this is definitely like a love letter to those diehard fans that still want more Hyperforce, but for the just the comic book readers only, someone like me who has only watched one or two shows past Dino Thunder and doesn't dabble in the like, I hate to say it, Hyperforce is basically a fan fiction D&D tabletop game. I don't indulge in that stuff. I stick to the comics.
It's an ancillary. It's an ancillary within the ancillary. It's like it's not fan fiction, but it is farther removed from the more conventional methods of digesting Power Rangers.
Yeah. Now, if they want to interject Hyperforce into future story arcs, this and that, I would be okay with that because I like the suits.
Yeah.
And I'm more intrigued about their story now. But then again, we have these one shots, Hyperforce, Coinless, and the main run. And I'm like, I don't want this many one shots right now. Like, give me the main run. Just like, if you want this many side story stuff, should have just kept it Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers.
I'm kind of where you are, actually. I'm kind of getting a little worn down by some one shots.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think it's a really delicate balance. I don't think that I would be so worn down if it was all a little bit more cohesive.
That's my thing. If majority of these that came out, like, you know, again, they were working in conjunction, you know, like behind the scenes, I'd be like, you know what, fine, give me as much of these as you can. Like, obviously make sure they're spaced out, it makes sense, but I'd be more welcoming to them. But now it's gotten to the point where, oh, I see the game. You guys aren't working with each other with these books. You guys just see a moment where, oh, okay, yo, this looks like it'll be a good mini. And also, it would be nice if we have, like, for a month or two, we have 2 Power Ranger books on the shelves. Fine, let's just do that. But it that's fine, but it's also annoying when, again, it doesn't work. These things have to work. We already have like this series, which again is very niche, but again, it doesn't help like when it's very niche and then you're not doing a good job of like making sure the additional thing to this niche thing doesn't work. That's my biggest issue with it.
And
all the components have to be cooperating together.
I miss day-to-day stuff. Like, I miss Go-Go Power Rangers more and more every month. Like, I love what Melissa's doing right now. I was there for the Women of Marvel panel at Comic-Con. Like, her getting Spider-Gwen on top of everything. Dead Lucky's hitting its stride real good right now.
Yeah.
I'm just not taking away anything from Power Rangers.
Wait, Melissa is going to be writing Spider-Gwen?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And
also
cool.
Echo.
Yeah, and
Cool.
Echo, I'm on the fence, but like Spider-Gwen with Melissa's style, with how she's handled Dead Lucky and everything else, I'm like, oh, Spider-Gwen, that's on my pull list now for when it starts. I miss, because Bro even said it, it's been pedal to metal. We're going 100 miles per hour since 100. Yeah. I kind of want some more day-to-day lifestyle like Go-Go Power Rangers did, especially when Cinna Grace was writing it. I liked Go-Go a lot.
I wish this Cinna Grace got the opportunity to do his own thing for Power Rangers.
I know, instead of just co-writing with Ryan.
Because I've been still like, I follow writers. I'm still getting stuff like Get It Together from Cinna Grace, Ghosted in LA. Cinna Grace is putting out great stuff.
What did, I know it's not on here, but what did we think of Ranger Academy?
It was cute. I mean, it was nothing major.
Okay.
Nothing really happened.
The main run didn't start, just the free comic book day one.
Yeah, it's the free comic book day. Nothing really happens.
Nothing really happened. I think it has potential to, if it's removed from the main story and universe of the Power Ranger comic book right now, this could be a good gateway for younger readers, the young adult, like this, that don't want this. I'm sorry to say it, Power Rangers has been very doom and gloom and end of the world, end of the universe for quite some time now. This seems like this is going to be kind of like your casual read, a little more humor in there. I like the art style. That's usually not my art style I like.
I hated the art style. I hated everything about this book.
Every once in a while, I like pastel colors every once in a while.
I hated everything about this book.
I'm gonna be the guy to say it. I don't think Boom got much confidence in this one, y'all.
I don't think so
This
either.
No, I
is
don't think
definitely
so
not
either.
a permanent long run. This will be a short run.
Yeah.
Like, look at how
It's
long
supposed to
it
be,
took
like, what,
for it to
5
get
issues?
solicited. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
It
it's
seems
gonna be
like
something cute and small, and it is for younger readers or for like newbies getting into it.
it
And like I
seems
said,
like
that's a good gateway to comics. There's always that one comic book someone grabs that's going to
potentially,
get them
but
into it.
potentially, but the book, the free comic book day, it just didn't scream Power Rangers. It just
No.
yeah.
that's I don't think that
Well,
that's
Melissa
how.
said it has nothing to do with Darkest Hour, so
Yeah.
we like
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
fine on its own.
No, it's that, which is good. Like, but like I said, like for me, every once in a while, I'll pull a comic book that does someone might say is good or just looks appealing to me, and then next thing you know, I got the whole run. I'm looking into more of
Yeah.
that author. I'm looking into more of that publisher because Power Rangers did that for me with Boom. Then next thing you know, I'm getting that Once and Future because I was like, oh, well, yeah, Once and Future, that was
Right.
good. Something is Killing the Children. Now I'm getting all the Jeff Lemire stuff. Like I'm and Divian, like I'm pulling all their stuff now. And I, even with Power Rangers, Kyle Higgins, I went back, I read his Gates of Gotham that he did, which Loki was pretty good. And now, like, so this could be kind of like that book that a young reader's now into a lot of other comics.
Hey,
Might
by
not
the
sell
way,
well. I don't think it's gonna be top 100.
you
I
mentioned
doubt it.
Jeff.
I think it just
you
looks
mentioned
it looks fun.
Jeff Lemire. Jeff
I saw your
Lemire.
tweet. I ordered one. I didn't even know he did a Green Arrow because like I'm still
Yes.
his Little Monsters run. I think it just ended because I think Image only gave him like 12 issues for it. Such a good post-apocalyptic vampire comic. No color in it whatsoever, except for every once in a while the blood. And then slowly he introduced color into the comic, interjected into the story of it.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. Hold on.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know, he's
That's
always cooking
fine.
something good. So I was like, all right. I was like,
Ooh.
oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, the comics. Because
I think
found
where you guys are
recently,
saying like the daily life of the comics, like
Yeah.
that sounds really fun.
So I
but
found
Yeah.
we've
volume one of the
gone
archives, like the
too
90s
far.
comics. I was reading those and I was like, oh, these were like fun. It was very campy and cheesy. I like camp. So I'm like, this is cool. But I was like, I kind of missed fun. Just fun in the Power Ranger comic book. I don't.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think
Yeah.
we can have fun anymore. Like I don't
No.
mean to be like doom and gloom, but like every arc is bigger than the last one.
Yeah.
I don't
Even
like
after-
the idea
even
of
after the
Darkest
Imperials,
Hour. I don't like the
I
idea
love
of
the
Darkest
idea of
Hour.
Darkest
Oh.
Hour.
Well,
I've
no,
been
I
telling you
don't
guys
like the
this
idea
for
of it being a
longest.
year-long thing. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, that is kind
I
of.
mean, I
A
feel like
year,
it
a
kinda
year-long
has
thing
to.
sounds exhausting.
Okay.
You will be
It has
another
to
year
fill that
older.
space.
That's tiring.
Okay. I don't mind Darkest Hour. I don't know. I think I don't know if it's an issue. One, I don't like calling it an event personally. I don't. It's just that's just my thing. It's just a storyline. Also, I wish we
I feel
kind
like
of took
everything
some.
has been a year event though. Like Shattered Grid was a year event.
Yeah. Hey, luckily,
Yeah.
Catalyst War is in a year event.
I mean, like
I don't know, but here's
like I feel like every
Yeah.
arc is at least 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
yeah, but also I think that's just an issue I have with just these comic books in general. It's like, yo, guys, not everything is an event. Like, why can't it
Yeah.
just be a storyline? Like,
Yeah.
I've got to the point where just like I hate the word event. This is not an event. This is just a storyline.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
the word event
if
can
you
be
know,
exhausting.
talk to people. This might be it before like a big reboot for the comics. If it even continues after this, I think this is why it's such a big event. This is why it's such a year-long thing, because this might be it for the comics.
Why do you think that?
Mm.
Just
I'm
from
not.
what
I'm
I
not
had
disagreeing with
heard.
you. Okay, you've heard.
I've heard some
Yeah.
rumblings. It wasn't even supposed to go in through the later half of next year,
Okay.
Really?
from what I've heard.
Yeah.
But now, like, they got through it. There's no TV show or anything like for sure. So they were like, we have to do something. Here's what we're gonna do. Extend this story that you've been brewing up. We'll work with other people. I'm sure these aren't the only one shots that we're gonna get for
Yeah.
this event.
What other
Yeah.
things have you heard?
That was it, honestly, for as far as like that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
also
don't know.
okay with a reboot. I really am. I'm okay. Like, I love the Power Ranger series, but I can't like recommend this to my friends who don't read it because they got to go so far back. Like, there's no jumping in point.
Again, there's no accessibility. The accessibility is so garbage.
Unless you want to watch
it just keeps getting
some
bigger
YouTube
and bigger
videos
and
to
bigger.
get caught up, but that's not the same.
That's ridiculous. You shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then right now, honestly, I've been pondering this in the back of my head. Like, I feel like I know we've been talking about it a lot. It's kind of just been like a growing topic, but like this really feels like, oh shit, this could be the final step before we actually go into Ninja. Like, I know that's the thing people are waiting for. Like, because what more can you do after this? Dark Spectre is here.
And that's why I said this is the end. Like this.
Yeah.
That's why I personally feel like what I've been told and what I'm reading, I'm like, this is the end, because exactly what else can you do since Dark Spectre is here if you're not going to play with other seasons? Because like, there's no other bigger threat than Dark Spectre and Zed.
Yeah.
Like
from
every season coming, there's you can't put, like, as much as we all love Mesogog and Rancic and everybody, like there's no other bigger villains than these two.
Right.
In the entire franchise.
And it makes
especially
sense
with what they've given to Dark Spectre, that now he's like the anti-grid.
Yeah, and to be fair too, like, you know, if we're gonna stay on this section of the topic, can we say the comics has done enough? Like, we had the big mega crossover, Shattered Grid. We had the whole, ragtag team, like, for like a year, even though it wasn't highly received. Like, we had a year of just like.
There's going to be crossover. We're already seeing crossover elements in this one too, with Wild Force popping up.
Yeah.
We've got Hyperforce.
Yeah.
So
Melissa said it's supposed to be bigger than Shattered Grid.
So what else?
Even uttering those words feels crazy.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Even uttering those words feels crazy.
No, but like, if we can, like, even as we're sitting down and talking about, like, the comics have pretty much done all that there is to do. Like,
they've hit an apex.
And like,
because they did their Suicide Squad, they did their Dark Dimension, they did like the massive crossover, which was Shattered Grid.
So are you saying, Ro, then you're okay with the comics taking a hiatus or taking a break or something?
I mean, I don't want them to, but at the same time, when you look at it in totality, have they not done everything that a typical Ranger fan has wanted them to do? Like, dude, for again a year, we had a Mighty Morphin team that wasn't Mighty Morphin for an entire year.
Yeah,
we had almost every other Ranger pop up. Even when Shattered Grid came, we had the current team in Shattered Grid. We have Dark Spectre. Like, think about it right now. Like, this is technically season finale, because like, we have the big bad of the Zordon era facing the current team that's the iconic team. What can you do after that? Because what are you going to do? You're telling me they're going to beat Dark Spectre, right? Then Dark Spectre is going to be a lingering threat again from Mighty Morphin all the way to fucking in space.
Right. Well, I mean, the timeline is completely shifted, which is fine, because at post Shattered Grid, they told us it was going to happen. Even in the comic itself, it said things are not going to be the same from here on out. Certain things will change. So that makes sense. But you're right. After they defeat Dark Spectre, like, is he going to be like Draken, where he's just in the waitings and he's depowered and finds a different vessel, which we now know he's been trying to do, which we now know that even this body that was in space was just a vessel. I would love, and it's not going to happen, but I would love if Cosmic Fury had Dark Spectre in it.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. It's not going to happen, but if they had the inkling of being like, hey, this has been what's happening behind the scenes.
I was already shocked that they implemented Zordon's tube shattering in Once and Always.
Yeah.
I already felt like that was a big ask for that.
Yeah.
Because like you and I know that, but like general people don't know that, and In Space is no longer available on Netflix for people to watch that moment. Like it's not accessible.
Also, these things are like sacred. They're sacred things that you just don't touch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the tube shattering was a sacred thing that I never thought they would touch.
Right.
But now it leads to story of like residual light or residual darkness being out there. Can
Yeah.
Zordon come back?
Do we honestly think they're thinking that deep from like a show standpoint, though?
No.
I mean,
well, no, because it's ending.
I mean, I'm just waiting for the sequel to Once and Always. That's all I want.
Like,
And
if
I
they were
already
to
wrote
take
it.
that and use that, like in Cosmic Fury, I don't know how much was done in between the two. Because
Thanks,
if you know,
Matt.
if you know, spoilers, Billy is supposed to be in Cosmic Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always said tweeted it how many times, and that was. I feel like we know more from their tweets than we've actually been seeing. I'm like, where's the trailer? I think they're gonna announce the trailer like the end of the month. They're gonna show it for like the official anniversary.
It'll be like Power Month Day or whatever, and
I thought the season was supposed to come out this month.
Next month.
No, next month.
Oh.
Not officially saying next month, but there's been some tweets from people who are a part of the show that says, "Can't wait for you guys to see Cosmic Fury next month." Like, oh, that's how we find out. Cool.
Catherine Hillard.
Okay.
Yeah, but back to the comics. Yeah, I really don't know what we can do after this. Honestly, I'd be surprised. But
if you do anything, just make it smaller scale and just don't burn us out.
Yeah,
I would like just to go back to like go. Like I said, I keep going to Go-Go, but it's like I would like it if there wasn't really cost everything. Like give us some of their more daily lives and personal issues.
What issue number will be the last issue of Darkest Hour?
123. If it's a full year, it's 12 issues, and it started with 110. I assume, not counting 110, but maybe 122, 123.
Yeah. Okay. So then, hold on. Darkest Hour will begin in 111. So that's 12. That's a year, right? So
yeah. So 123.
123. Okay. You have to reason that they're not gonna. If they want to end things, they're not gonna want to end on not an anniversary number.
No. I assume they push it up to 125 with like two cool off issues. Where are they now? Type of thing.
Yeah, like an end send off or like end song.
Yeah.
So I didn't catch the whole stream. Did you guys talk about the Amy Jo Johnson comic yet?
No, there's nothing to talk about.
No, we're not there yet.
There's nothing to talk about.
What's to say?
Well, instead of talking about, do you want to hear about my Once and Always sequel called Twice and Possibly?
Oh my
god!
I've been up since 5. I can't, man. I'm sorry.
Okay. Never mind. We'll save it for next time. I'll make
a save that for next. Save that for a time when I'm a little bit not. Yeah. A lot.
I don't want you to slip into some sort of like weird.
We haven't talked about the story itself, though. We talked about like the general comic.
Yeah, I mean, well, Darkest Hour. I mean, it's just it's a full on invasion. You know, Rita is finally summoned this dude here, and you know, I think it sounds like an all hands on deck situation. And honestly, what I'm hoping to see, like at the end of it, is that I need to see Kimberly like reach her breaking point. I feel like the breadcrumbs are there, but I think if there's one thing that should happen at the end, Kimberly's out of here. Like I feel like this is let's entertain the fact that this continues on after Darkest Hour, and we're still going on. Kimberly's leaving. This is it.
What if she snaps during it though? What if their breaking point is during the run and we get Kat brought in?
I wouldn't say that, but I think she's gonna snap. I think you will see her
she's
snap.
Definitely gonna snap. You could tell. Also, why they design Rita like that?
Like pushing toward it. But I mean, also at the end of the one shot, you saw Ranger Slayer is supposedly dead. She's not dead.
Yeah, that was definitely insinuated. That's why I say
That
that's
girl's not dead.
the Quinla stuff intrigued me so much because with everything going with Zach, Jason basically at his breaking point and like a recluse in the tower, I'm like, there's a lot going on in here that just seems so not concise with everything else. But it's like, because like you said, Ro, whatever else, like check the footnotes, wrote this comic. Adam didn't fully read it, and I'm just like, I kind of want this to be fleshed out more. But at the same time, I don't want more one shots. Give this a trade. I'm okay with this trades coming out. I don't need everything to be a one shot comic, and I want to wait 6 months for 6 issues to come out for this sequentially for this. Just give me a trade.
I mean, they did so for Soul of the Dragon and like the other like random ass
Psychopath.
like, stories. So yeah, why not?
Psychopath was good.
Not
Whatever.
I don't know what the other one
No.
was.
Psychopath was bad, man.
I
It's
liked it as
horrible.
someone who wasn't a big fan of that series, so
As someone who
okay.
loves the Psycho Rangers, who like
don't.
those are my babies,
I didn't like this.
I lost my shit reading that book. I still have not recovered.
I didn't like the
I don't think I
Time
ever
Force
will.
one. That's the one I didn't like.
Time Force.
The
wasn't
Time Force was pointless
Yeah.
because
I read-
they had so much stuff just to be reset at the end. I was like, well,
Yeah.
this was a dumb book that had nothing going for it.
Guys, you just said it too. What if they just reset everything at the end of this, like they did at the end of Shattered Grid, to an extent? What if they pull that and that they're still Mighty Morphin?
They could. They definitely could. It just, I think if you do that, you're just going to retouch the same ground, though. Like, what other stories can you go with?
That's well, I mean, if they start with the Ninjetti,
because then you
or
just
go right
start.
into Zeo.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, once you hit, and I've said this before. Once you hit the end of Mighty Morphin, so you're still in season 2 technically.
Yeah.
Once you hit the end of season 3, it's done. No one's going to read a Zeo comic.
I will read the Turbo comic.
No one
that's-
outside of us. No one outside of our fandom
That's true.
is going to read a Zeo comic.
I don't think anyone outside of the fandom right now is reading this comic book. Like it sells, but like
I don't know. No, I think people
I don't know
are.
any. Like
There's so many people.
my local comic shop is always like pulling the stuff and like they're like, oh,
I've
we
met
forgot to
people
pull
at
the
work who have
variants.
told me that they're reading.
Yeah, I don't know anyone really outside of like my core group that are like even reading this.
Yeah, I don't really know anybody unless you're a fan of Power Rangers. You're not reading the book.
Yeah, like my local comic shop can't get me the 1 in 25 covers because they're not even ordering 25 for each issue.
Yeah, like I only got I think it was like Necessary Evil. I got like those 1 in 20 covers like off of just like sheer luck. Like they just made the order and it came in. And it's the one where Trini is holding the helmet and it's a foil cover.
Yeah,
I got that
know what you're
randomly,
talking
but I can't personally make the request of, hey, can I get a 1 in 25? It's like, well, no, we have to actually order that, and like, there's not too many people subbing to the fucking comics, so
Right.
yeah.
I got the 1 in 10. I think the foil for Hyperforce from another shop, like a bigger shop here in San Diego, that like just orders like 50 of every book, regardless. But my local
that's
shop,
what I was gonna say. Like, it depends on what shop you go to too. Like, if your shop is one of the big ones that like does order massively, or if you are like a little mom and pop shop that can't afford to even order.
Look, the shop that's like near my work gets maybe like 2 copies of each issue.
Yeah.
And
yeah, see, mine's bigger. Mine definitely.
But the one that's near me, it gets much more than that. And then I mean Midtown Comics, of course.
I have to go out to Midtown Comics to actually get variants. Yeah.
We're gonna go there, and then we're gonna go to Raising Cane's Times Square.
No, dude, I have Raising Cane's here. If we like, I
gotta go to the Times Square one though.
You're trying to feed him mid chicken, like why?
And I had Raising Cane's recently. I was not full off of that.
You gotta go to Dave's Hot Chicken. That's my go-to.
We'll go to Yankee Doodle Dandy. It's a chicken finger food truck.
Ooh.
Okay, that I will do. Yes,
I'll meet you guys there.
Oh yeah,
in a long time.
Yeah, but but yeah, I agree. I think once we leave MMPR, it's like it's not. You can't really do much.
I'm tired of seeing the Thunder Megazord. I am ready to see the Ninja Megazord.
Me too. Honestly, I'm ready to see like the Ninjetti, and I feel like with the right writer, I think they can handle the Rangers in reverse with the right writer. I want to see how somebody handles
we've already
Rangers
seen
in
Master
reverse.
Vile.
We have. That's
We've
true.
already seen Master Vile. He's been, and we've seen why he's so nice now.
What if they jump?
Put a
What if
spell
they
on him.
skip a couple seasons? What if we get like I'm trying to think of like what seasons aren't people consider bad. Like, what if they went more a show that was within the last like 10 years as like the
Won't
main
sell.
team?
Won't sell.
Really?
Yeah,
Even
no one's
like
gonna buy a Dino Charge comic.
Nobody's gonna buy
well, I mean,
nobody's gonna buy a Dino Charge comic. I'll buy a
I've never
Dino
seen-
Charge.
I've never
That's
seen
it.
Dino Charge, so
Dino
I
Fury
can't speak
comic.
on it.
No, but it's not MMPR.
Oh no,
We already
MMPR always
tried
going to
this.
sell.
We tried this. We tried this with Beyond the Grid.
Well, yeah, Beyond the Grid was just didn't have a good writer. That's the problem.
And
I
it
think
was
No,
He's a
it
good
had
writer.
several problems.
yeah, and it was the fatigue. Like Shattered Grid, let's face it, that took a
It
lot of
had
energy
it
out of
had
a lot of
several
people.
problems.
Hmm.
It's possible for things to have multiple problems, and the big problems were that it wasn't MMPR.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was fatigue from Shattered Grid. It was exhausting, and the writing sucked, and the art was mid.
Yeah.
My wallet was so mad at me after Shattered Grid that I was like, I'm so glad I'm only pulling regular covers for this because
Yeah. And I thought Beyond the Grid wasn't as bad as I sound like I'm criticizing it. Honestly.
I liked it. I think it's funny how Beyond the Grid's plot lines have extended this far out. Like a lot of this stuff still comes from Beyond
yeah,
the
there were
Grid.
some
A lot
seeds. It was good from a seed planting standpoint, like
I was gonna say even
grand
in the
scale
show,
of things,
the
but
Morphin
like
Master
at the
stuff came
time,
from Beyond the Grid.
But I do think Marguerite sucks for Power Rangers. She's
I've
just
never
not
read
good.
her anything else, so
I don't know what else
sucks.
she's written.
I haven't read anything else. I'm sure that she's great for other stuff, but for Power Rangers, no.
Yeah, no.
I think she didn't have a grasp of what she was doing as far as like character wise, so everyone sounded really off from what we know, which could also hinder a person's reading experience.
Yeah.
Like seeing Cam talk that way, I'm like, that's not Cam.
Yeah. So when I reviewed it, I said I feel bad where it's like basically when you have an opening act that does so good, how do you follow that? It's like putting Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker at WrestleMania opening match. It's like who's going on after that? Like Shattered Grid was so good. Like no matter who was writing and what was going to be there, it's like it's tough to follow that. There was going to be a lull period regardless. There hasn't been one since though.
Took everything. No.
Like because I thought with everything else in the Altarian War, I'm like, man. It's going to hit a lull. It didn't.
The Recharge era was a little bit of a lull period. I honestly think that we need more Matt Groom on the book.
He wasn't on there long enough. Like I had outside of the podcast stuff, I had no idea he was doing comics outside of Ultraman with Kyle.
Yeah.
And then I was like skeptical. I was like, because you want to be a fan of stuff, but it's one thing when you have someone who's doing Power Ranger podcast and that big of a fan getting that chance to write a comic book. You know, sometimes fans kind of start putting their own theories into things, but like he's writing in the whole time. I'm like, oh my, I was like, and then when I realized him and Ryan, everyone were going to be gone so soon, like especially Matt was so soon, I was like, no, he's cooking. Let him in the kitchen longer. Like, give him another 10 issues. Give him another I want to see what else he can write. He had it for a short, brief time that he was writing. It was all really good.
He covered a lot of ground for the 4 issues that he did.
Yeah, it felt like longer too. I thought he did like 6.
It was only 4.
Yeah. Dude, like that's.
I thought it was 5.
I think in a perfect world. No, go ahead, Cosmo. Go ahead.
Ro.
No, go ahead.
With Matt and Melissa, you feel the love for Power Rangers, as opposed to like Kyle or Ryan or anybody else because they don't know beyond Mighty Morphin. And so
I think Ryan did a good job with.
He did great. Don't get me wrong. He did amazing. But when you go to Matt and you saw like, oh my God, he touched on Archerina's dad. Like Ryan's not gonna do that.
Right.
I
Okay. So
I get what you're saying.
Ryan's not going to touch
yeah.
Forever Pink.
So
You know what I mean?
Melissa and Matt, yeah, you feel a stronger love for the franchise as a whole.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Because
Whereas
Legacy
Kyle
of
and
Beyond,
Ryan
yeah.
Mighty
are
Morphin.
more love to the genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you with Matt and Melissa, you get to play around with the world.
Right.
Whereas with everybody else who's done it, you get to play around with their ideas. Does that make any sense?
And
No,
yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And with that said, in a perfect world, I wish Groom wrote I wish we had a little bit like of a lull period with more of that with Groom. Just like really have the Rangers like sit down. You went from everything that happened with Necessary Evil, then you had Eltarian War. Like, let's chill. Not to say they still can't have some things that's happening in the background, but let's really take some time to just have a lull. Because I think going from 100 to Darkest Hour, I think it felt like even just like less than a year.
Yeah.
I think that's hurting it. Like, I'm enjoying it regardless, but I really feel like we need like that lull period. Like, let the Rangers just be teenagers. Like, because right now it legit feels like, oh, it's like these kids are just like, it's a full-on war. But versus the TV show where it's just like, oh, okay, yes, they're dealing with the war, but you can also see them like enjoy themselves, be teenagers, like what's happening in their lives, things like
Right.
that.
100%.
Yeah.
And I need a 6-issue Rocky arc where he's just the greatest.
I got enough. I got exactly what I wanted in those issues that he wrote.
But what about now? What about, okay, let's play with Aisha's world. Let's play with Adam's world. Let's play with Billy's. Like, there's so much stuff that you can do there, and I feel like now we're just like in this box of holy fucking shit. It's world ending, back to
Big
back
events,
to back to back.
It is a little exhausting.
And it's like like I said, I like it, but man, like I really wish we had that, because again, having like the crazy world-ending shit with Mighty Morphin, and then when you can just sit back and read Go and they chilling,
Yeah, see,
yeah,
that was good.
Yeah,
that was good. That's what I feel like the comics are at their peak.
I hate to say it, I kind of don't want the Omega Rangers in the comics anymore. If this goes forward after Dark Hours, because like I just want to focus on one team, and I love the Omega Rangers.
Actually,
I'm still want the figures. I want them now, but like
but we've had, I think we've had our fill of them, and I think that like everything that we've had of them was great. Let's let them fly off into the sunset.
Like everything they did with Jason and then Trini becoming Red, that was like the perfect like chapter ending closure.
We didn't need them more now.
No, and
I agree with that. I don't give a flying fuck about Kivor or whatever the fuck that Yellow Ranger dude is.
No, I'm literally reading it for Zach and Trini now. That's it.
Yes, the inclusion of that character, dumb.
It was random.
It was very random.
It should have been the little girl. Yeah. Honestly, she shouldn't have died. But also, when she died, fuck, I cried.
I think with the Omegas, if my theory, I think I mentioned it to you guys, my theory for 100 was going to be like, okay, something happens to the Omegas, especially Jason, where, all right, they are off the map, they are depowered, and then it kind of goes more in line with, okay, what's happened with these guys in between Zeo? Obviously, we know what happened with Jason, but then you can leave a shroud of mystery for Zach and Trini. But like them still being in the mix even after that, like I don't really care as much. Like, cool, I would rather see them in civilian form, like here and there, but like we don't need them. But again, I guess that's the downside of having it become a big comic book universe. Yeah. Now they feel like they have to be included.
There's if easy they don't, stories to put them in, though. You have Zach and Trini back on Earth, and it kind of it's a good way to go into another team or transfer power. You have Kimberly, Billy, and all them seeing how much Zach and Trini are just living civilian life. And now, the other team members who they want to experience that, they're getting almost jealous. And then, boom, new team brought in. Like, that's how we can get TJ in the comics and Turbo. Like, that's all the stuff we can do. And it sounds easy on paper, but you got to write towards it.
Yeah.
And the Omega Ranger stuff right now, it's like, and every time I think about it, I just think of the perfect send off because issue 100, that Dan Mora page. I have dreams about that page. I want that on my wall. Like, that artwork. It's a good way to get money out of me. Be like, hey, Dan Moore's doing some art on this. Like, all right.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, I think we've done a lot of the comic book stuff. But overall, like I'm gonna keep an open mind for Darkest Hour. I am invested.
I'm liking it so far.
I'm excited as hell. You guys know that I love villains, and this is a villain story.
Yes. Yeah, we'll see what happens, and
kill off the Draco Rangers.
Yeah, that was.
There's a new Ranger coming, by the way, guys. Just so you know.
There
I have a lot of faith
new
in
Ranger
Melissa.
coming.
Yeah, there's a
new
next
Ranger.
Issue. A new Ranger, like next issue. I think. Pretty sure it's 111.
Was it confirmed? I thought that was a rumor. Are you confirming it?
No, I'm not confirming it. I can't confirm it.
Because I heard rumors on the internet of a new Ranger popping up, and that's why I was like, I'm not going to ask anyone who would know.
Wait, is this an existing Ranger that'll be making their first appearance in the comics, or just like a new Ranger?
No, this is a new original Ranger.
Yeah.
It might be an existing character, but the form is new. It's very much like a Ranger Slayer, a Draken, an Omega Ranger situation.
We'll talk after the pod.
Omni Ranger.
Before we
I made that up. I'm not knowledgeable.
Before we leave, is Matt going to die?
I don't think so.
I would want you to answer that anyways, because I want to read it for myself. I hope so. I mean, that'd be bad.
I think we're losing Matt. I think we're losing Matt, yo.
Listen, it's too complicated having a green and a white Ranger on the same team right now. Like logistically, it just bothers me.
I think we're going to lose him as a Ranger. I think we're going to lose him as a Ranger. I don't think that we're going to lose him as a human
character.
being.
Could die.
I mean, I wouldn't be upset that much.
Me neither.
He's a good character, but it'd be good for Aisha's character growth.
Yeah, before she regresses back to, Rangers in reverse timeline, and then swaps places with Tanya, and then gets time displaced.
We will just skip over that completely in the comics.
Oh, I really hate how that character arc ended.
Boogie with the bear.
Oh God!
And now she's back at once and always, and it's like, hey guys.
Yeah,
here I am. But I think we've delved into comics enough.
Secret Invasion.
Let's do Secret Invasion.
We could have a third crossover and add Power Rangers to this. Stranger Things TMNT.
It's past midnight, Mark. I can't.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Now.
Oh God! All right, so I'll be honest. I did not watch Secret Invasion.
You didn't watch any of it.
You didn't.
No.
Okay.
I tried watching the first episode before this, and I couldn't.
Obviously, Mark, you watched all of it?
Sadly, yes.
Okay, me too. Look, the MCU is one of my favorite things. I love the MCU. You've seen my fucking apartment. I love the MCU. I was really disappointed by this show. I had really high hopes. I knew it wasn't going to be a scroll. Like, it wasn't going to be like the comic. I knew that. I was fine with I had accepted that, and I didn't want it to be. I wanted it to be a Nick Fury-centric story. Something felt very disjointed about it, and it felt like, I said this in our chat, but and I understand that people are going to disagree with me. I think that trying to make a connected universe not be connected is not working. And you have already established with us that this is a connected universe. and that one thing is going to lead into the next, and blah blah. Like, you've already built that into our expectation. I'm tired of hearing directors saying like, "Oh, I didn't watch that thing. I didn't do that. I didn't watch that. I didn't read this. I didn't do that." Bro, do your homework. There's an entire streaming service that is available for you to watch while you're on the toilet. Like, there are ways that you can do this and make it be connected and make it more cohesive. Oh, I wanted this to really stand on its own, blah, 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 blah. You can still do that, but like something about this felt very divorced from the rest of the universe. And it also felt very alienating and kind of fuck youing to the audience. The stuff with Rhodey, big problem. Big problem.
I paused and walked away.
Big problem. And
can somebody explain that to me, please?
So the in the show, Don Cheadle is Rhodey, but he is a Skrull as Rhodey. And in the show, Rhodey has been assigned to the current president's security detail. He's basically the president's right. Like, he goes wherever the president goes. And in the show, you see that, oh, Rhodey's a Skrull. In the final episode, Skrull Rhodey dies. Nick Fury kills him. And regular Rhodey is rescued from where all the other kidnapped humans who were Skrulls from that whole like site.
Mm-hmm.
The implication that the show has, and confirmed by the director of the series in interviews, is that Rhodey was kidnapped immediately after being injured during Civil War.
Yeah.
Which is,
when he like got fake paralyzed.
Yeah.
Right. And that is an extremely ugly look, because it throws into question how Rhodey acted at the end of Civil War, number one, how Rhodey acted in Infinity War, how he acted in Endgame, and how he acted in Falcon and Winter Soldier. And you're basically saying that, okay, so then real Rhodey wasn't there when Tony died?
Yeah.
Like, it was a Skrull?
That's what I had issue with.
It's a retcon that can work in a comic book. It's not a retcon that can work in a TV show or a budding cinematic universe. It just doesn't work that way. It's not one-to-one, is what I'm saying.
I like how we had two different issues completely. My issue with this is lazy writing, that they have all these Disney Plus shows. You're telling me we couldn't have planted all these seeds for Skrulls in those shows ahead of time? And after seeing Nick Fury showing up at the end of one of the Spider-Man films, the one with Jake Gyllenhaal, or
Far From Home.
Yeah, that one. And then find out the Skrulls, and then how he was in just everything else, and seeing him in the Marvel's trailer while this show is airing, I'm like, the personality is so different. All those,
it's a very disjointed.
Yeah, it took me out of it.
How they're doing, like, because then the narrative became like, oh, is then the Marvels a prequel? Like, because we're assuming maybe Nick Fury dies. Oh, I guess not. It just
they lack
goofy decisions.
They lack proper leadership in the MCU right now. Like, when Favreau and the Russos were kind of like, hey, this is what we're trying to build up to, things seemed a lot more, everyone was on the same page.
I do think that Bob Iger, the CEO, did say some like statements that there is some like a level of saturation, and I don't disagree with that. I do think that there is some saturation in the MCU where, like, we're getting an Echo show. And
I pick and choose what I watch now. I didn't see any of the Loki seasons. I've just seen the last
season 1 was really good.
Other than,
and season 2 looks great.
Yeah, other than this show, I watched Miss Marvel, which I think everyone hated for no reason.
Miss Marvel was good. It sagged in the middle. and then it ended pretty well.
Like they changed her powers
I
a bit.
loved
I'm
it.
actually a fan of her
I
original
like-
run from 2016. That's a good
Yeah.
introductory run. I tell everyone, listen, you could say negative things about Miss Marvel all you want. Go read that 2016 run or go play the Marvel Avengers video game because
Right.
that really showcased her as a character perfectly.
Yes.
But I Guardians Volume 3, I still haven't seen.
Guardians Volume
That's really good.
3 was
It's just
was
I'm
good.
burnt out. I'm kind of like not just MCU stuff, just in general. Like I'm tired of superheroes, like in media forms. Like I'm watching horror films, I'm watching art house stuff now. I'm just like, let me just cleanse my palate a bit, just to kind of like maybe like distance makes the heart grow fonder type of situation.
Yeah.
Like the next movie I want to see is Blue Beetle, obviously.
The Flash
statue
kind
and-
of the Flash kind of burned me out.
Well,
I went to a press screening. That's the reason why I saw that. Like I was.
I'll say this as somebody who's also burnt out on like the superhero like live action stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy 3. If you were invested in the first two movies, which I think have aged tremendously, you are gonna enjoy 3. You're gonna be emotional. I think James Gunn did a proper send off for that team.
Nice.
And I think that's one of the better movies in Phase 4.
Let me rephrase it.
So,
I didn't want to spend money. Now that it's
Phase
on
5.
Disney Plus, my wife's like, we should watch this. I'm like,
yeah, watch that.
give me a
with
day
me,
or
bro.
two. Like
I would say
I
that
don't like
the
the character
Guardians'
personally.
only bad appearance was probably Thor: Love and Thunder.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was.
I liked Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't know why everyone hated it. I mean, I get
thought
I
it
didn't
was
like the
hilarious.
villain so much because I feel like that was a wasted villain. But
It
from
was
aesthetic
too, it was
wise,
too
I
goofy.
liked it.
It was too goofy.
I
Which
like
I
Jane
come to
Foster
find
as
out is
Thor.
just New Zealand humor.
I like Jane Foster's
Yeah.
Thor too. But there
Oh, I'm
wasn't
glad
enough
someone
of
else
it.
does because I got
Wait,
roasted for it. Like, no, that was a good run. That led into War of the Realms.
I
that
liked
Jane
Jane
Foster
Foster
stuff
as
is
Thor,
great.
but there wasn't enough of it.
No,
wait,
It was really
Yeah.
Cosmic,
More
what
of
did
it.
you say? Wait, Cosmic said
said-
something. What did you?
Thor: Love and Thunder is just New Zealand humor, which I've come to find out.
yeah,
Like if
No,
you
it's
watch
not-
a New
it's
Zealand
not
show,
that
it's
it's
very
not-
similar.
It's not that it's just New Zealand humor. It's Taika being a little too far up his own ass. It was Taika
Yeah.
Waititi being up his own ass, shoving Korg down our throats. Less is more.
I'm saying if you see any New Zealand show,
oh yeah,
it's
no, they
very
have.
similar in tone.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I get
It's kind of like the dry British humor sometimes. that you get
Exactly.
a lot of
That's
stuff,
why I was
which-
like, I can enjoy it for that now knowing.
but it
other
also
New
felt
Zealand
like
shows.
there was something missing.
oh, there definitely was.
In terms of what we've got next, we have Loki season 2 in October, which looks great. And Loki was my favorite MCU show.
I tried. I just.
It was good.
It was good. I didn't finish it all of season 1. I got like 3 or 4 episodes in. I liked it for what was, but it wasn't my. That's like not
I
my
feel like it didn't
style
tap
of a
its full
show.
potential. For me, honestly, I feel like it didn't tap its full potential.
That's
Hopefully,
fair.
season 2
Like,
does that.
I
but
wanted more of Loki and Mobius being bros. Like,
I wanted more.
That's what I
variance.
like.
wanted
That's what
more-
actually drew me because I like Owen Wilson. Like I like
Yeah.
their dynamic with each other. Great chemistry. That's what I was enjoying from it.
yeah.
But I think a lot of the MCU shows though, like Falcon Winter Soldier, I really enjoyed. Then they announced Captain America 4. Like, oh, he's gonna become Captain America and figure it out. I'm like, no, he just did. Okay, make him Captain America. Continue this. Don't backtrack. And then watching
Yeah.
WandaVision, which I loved because I love old
I love
sitcoms
WandaVision.
and I liked the thematic of it for each episode. And I was like, I love sitcoms. I grew up on watching reruns of sitcoms from the 50s, 60s,
Yeah.
70s. So I love that. But then I feel like Multiverse of Madness kind of ruined a lot of that.
So
'Cause-
Multiverse of Madness was a disaster.
yes,
And
I don't blame Raimi.
yeah, I don't know.
I do. He didn't watch WandaVision.
He didn't watch
Well-
WandaVision.
Well, from what I heard, also like he wasn't given there's stuff that was mandatory that he put in there and film, and I don't like the idea of studios telling directors before they even start production how to do their film.
But the MCU dictates that it has to be that
Yeah,
way.
I know they can dictate something. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it didn't feel like a Doctor Strange film. Regardless, that's what my main issue was. That's why I vaguely remember whatever happened in that movie.
What the stuff that Quantumania was a mess.
Oh,
Quantumania
yeah, it
was a
was.
bad movie. In terms of what we have in the pipeline, we've got Loki season 2, we've got Echo, and we've got the Marvels.
I've seen the Marvels day one. I'll go on public. I don't care. Anyone on the internet.
Oh, me
can go
too.
with
Me
I've seen
too.
that day
Yeah, no,
one.
I'll
I
see
don't care.
Marvels.
That
Yeah,
looks
I don't
fun.
mind it. I like
It looks fun.
I
It
think it
looks
really
fun. It looks fun.
like the
I'm
first
really
Miss
looking forward to
Marvel.
seeing Miss Marvel
Yeah,
again.
Miss Marvel.
I liked all those characters, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Mm.
And I liked the first Captain Marvel. It's not
Captain
in my
Marvel.
top, but I liked it.
It's a decent movie.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
was.
decent movie. It's
it
a
was
decent
fun.
movie.
The soundtrack was good. It was 90s.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is good.
I'm looking forward to the second one. In terms of next year, I guess we have Deadpool.
Meh.
Huh.
Is
I
it
think
good
that's
with
gonna
all
be
the
fun.
delays? I thought they delayed everything.
Everything's on hold.
Everything's
Yeah.
on
You know,
I mean,
right.
everything's
Yeah, and I know Marvel announced they delayed a lot of stuff, almost a year for almost every project. except
No,
for
I
what's
think
done.
Deadpool I think will still come out.
In
Let
that
me
time
see.
frame. From it was supposed to be March.
In May. It's coming out in May.
In May. I knew there was something in March. I
It
forgot what though.
it
May
swapped
3,
dates with
2024.
it
Alright.
swapped dates with Captain America Brave New World.
I'm scared for that movie because I like the run when Sam Wilson was Captain America, but that run was a lot different than this because you had Old Man Cap in his ear as like his handler and like his liaison. I don't know how I like that dynamic. And then we had Deadpool the whole time trying to be best friends with Old Man Captain Rogers and trying to have him eat burritos and take him for walks in the park.
Well, we're gonna get Harrison Ford as a Hulk.
I don't know. I think my big issue with just like the MCU in general is that it feels like there's combating stories. It's just like I feel like with the before Endgame, yes, there was the individual stories, but like at the through line was the Infinity Stones,
Yeah.
Thanos. Right now, it's the multiverse stuff which hasn't been handled well, and then on top of that too, you have Secret Invasion, where it's just like, wait. That throws a whole thing into a tussy. So it's just like, and again, Secret Invasion on its own could have just been like a movie, but a more properly planned out movie. Then you lead into, Secret Wars and then Kang Dynasty. But it feels like it's almost just like one, obviously, they're just throwing these shows out and the quality is not great, but just like it feels like, what's the story here? Like that's what got me invested. Like I do a MCU rewatch every couple of years, and I stop specifically at Endgame because it's like, yes, not everything was perfect. I'll be honest, like nothing's perfect, but you can still have a consistent follow through from movie to movie. Like you can even watch the individual solo movies and watch Avengers.
Yeah.
This now it's almost just like, yo, you tell me I gotta watch this movie, then I gotta watch this whole other Disney Plus show, then this other Disney Plus show. Just it's almost two dimensions. It's almost like the Power Ranger comic books.
Yeah,
it's not accessible.
And you're gonna push your fans away. Like even I was just like, I don't want to watch all these shows to like enjoy the movies. There's some shows I just don't want to watch, and I don't like the idea of being forced to have to watch a 6-episode show at 45 minutes to an hour per episode. Like that time's limited. You should be like, these should be like garnishes with the main course. These should be side dishes. They should be something that elevates and adds more lore to the main movies, not like when you in high school and so that this is your necessary reading for the semester. It's like, and then you get the optional books that you could read for extra credit. These should be the extra credit. I don't want to be forced to watch everything, and I'm not like.
But it's not hard to
I think
do
Echo
it,
is going to be
Mark.
like that.
It is okay. Listen, I work 50 hours a week. I'm not watching this. Like, if it's a show I don't care about, like Loki, I like Loki as a character. I don't really like the show. I have to watch all this to understand Kang. That doesn't appeal to me. I shouldn't have to. And don't think of it from a casual standpoint. And I know these characters from the comics. So think of a casual fan. My wife, for example.
Yeah.
We saw, when we were watching Quantumanium, she's like, who's this Kang guy? Who are all these dudes, this and that? And she's like, why is there Loki and the Stinger? I'm like, oh, well, you got to watch Loki season 1 and you'll understand Kang also. She's like, do I have to? I'm like, well, if you want more backstory and understanding, yes. And she's like, that sounds stupid.
Yeah, I'll even break it down even further. Like, my mom has only watched Black Panther. That's the only one.
think that's the
Yo,
only one my
she
parents
was
had watched too.
Yo, it was easy for her to just like sit down and we watched Infinity War. She already had the context from Black Panther. I was like, oh, mom, Black Panther's here. You know the context. It's just all these other heroes. But Infinity War was just such a straightforward story. But it was easy enough for people who just watched the solo movies to
Yeah,
get into. And then everybody dies at the end. So that's easy. This, I don't know how the regular person jumps into Secret Wars. I don't know how a
No.
regular person jumps into Kang Dynasty. I don't know.
And you got to factor in they're raising the price of Disney Plus. All the streaming services are raising their prices now. So I see a lot of people canceling some streaming services.
And what you going to do? Are you going to go to like a fucking shady ass website just to keep up with the MCU? No, you're
Just-
not.
like you.
What
like
I thought
you.
was like what I thought was good was Disney actually
Right, not
put
Ro
Miss
talking
Marvel on
about that.
ABC, and they're airing it before the Marvels comes out. I thought that was genius idea. Take one of your shows that's strictly on your streaming service, put it on ABC, entice people to go check out the streaming service.
It's a good experiment. Let's see how it works out.
Instead of the other way
People
around,
still
where
watch basic TV.
Yeah, who
I'll-
watches
my mom?
basic
My
TV?
mom does.
do.
My mom does. My aunt does. Old people.
I guess that's what I was gonna say. I guess old people.
I don't even have TV.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't have
I have the internet.
regular
That's it.
TV. I just
I
exactly,
use
same.
my TV for video games.
Yeah.
I watch my crap
Got it.
on my laptop.
Same, honestly, same.
But
Yeah.
it's honestly, it's a smart idea. It's the reversal where, like, I wait the next day to watch, Superman Lois on the CW app and Riverdale and all that. Like, I'll wait the next day, watch it on their app instead of on TV live. Now, someone's doing it reverse, which I don't think anyone's actually tried that yet.
Yeah.
It's not out of the order. I mean, of taking a streaming show and putting it on cable.
Like a Disney doing that with one of their like MCU. I mean,
This might have been the first time that this has happened.
Yeah, Disney likes to keep their stuff like to themselves. They don't like to share it much.
Well, they own ABC.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm just. But still, they don't like to share it with the poors, the people who don't buy their streaming service.
The poor.
That's my new
Like,
favorite word I've been using
common
lately.
folk.
It is horrible.
I mean, the only thing I can see people being drawn to watch Secret Wars is like it's just the cameos.
Yeah.
Like, there's rumblings of like, the OG Avengers coming back.
I don't know about that. To Marvel's credit, in terms of the stuff that we have in the pipeline, I think that the upcoming things are going to build a more cohesive narrative. I hope they are. Like a more cohesive pathway towards Secret Wars and all of that. I think that we are going to start building towards that with Loki season 2.
And the elephant in the room too is they got the Fox properties coming in now. Deadpool, Fantastic Four, X-Men.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like even more to keep track of, and they need to get it handled, because the one thing I always said MCU did right was they had Kevin Feige, they had the Russos, they had Favreau overseeing stuff. DC, from a film standpoint, didn't have that, and now that they got James Gunn overseeing everything, if his timeline works out, yes, he's doing some obscure stuff, but if his timeline works out and it's cohesive enough and easy to follow and not so all over the place, this could be kind of like that.
As long as Superman, as long as Superman doesn't have a weird attachment to music, I will be fine.
I mean, I guess my main blowback is just like, why is it taking so long for us to finally start to get the ball rolling? Because then it makes what they were doing, because then it makes the last 2 or 3 years just fucking pointless. Because realistically, we should have been, from the moment we even started with this Disney Plus bullshit, the goal should have been, let's push to fucking Secret Wars.
I kind of agree with you. But then there's also a degree where it's sort of like you needed to lay the foundation for these new characters. Now, having said that, Moon Knight, I don't know where the fuck they're going to connect that.
Yeah.
And the fact
I forgot
that
about that show.
That's the problem. The fact that they didn't find ways to connect that, like you should have had a stinger of Moon Knight appearing in the Werewolf by Night special. You should have done something. You should have done something, and to not like you have the shared universe. You don't have to keep on trying to reinvent it. You can show these things connected.
It was so simple in phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3, and I'm just like, why are they trying so hard when it's like all you needed was a Coulson character talking with freaking General Ross, or General Ross talking to Robert Downey Jr., or Nick Fury showing up while Robert Downey Jr. is eating a donut. Like, it was simple little couple sentences, and that's it. I mean, I still remember how I felt when I saw Captain America's shield in Iron Man when they were using it to prop up. And I was like, that is all. That's all I needed.
Right.
I think the problem is like once streaming got introduced, people just started like over fucking thinking.
Yeah.
Like it's just overthinking. That's just literally what it is. At least with the movies, you know, you have like 2 or 3 hours with these characters, with these properties, and then it's a little bit easier because like, oh, okay, cool. We put a little nod here. You do a little post-credit scene there, but with the streaming service, like, oh god,
it is a little bit harder.
Now it's a little bit harder. So just like people just like they overdid it.
Yeah. So I keep one thing in my head 15 years ago from my professor in college. The first day one, he was like, listen, you're going in IT, computer science. Not everything is difficult. I always tell myself, keep it simple and stupid.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. And that stuck with me for 15 years because anytime I want to plan something, I'm like, no, let me just keep it simple and stupid.
Keep it simple,
because it's easy for people. Sometimes that's the best way to do it. Don't overcomplicate anything. People aren't going to chastise you for basically not overcomplicating something. I don't want a headache. I don't want to keep track. I don't need a whiteboard with names and threads and photos to keep track of everything going on.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'll do it if I have to, but
I mean, but then again, that's comics too. Like I think some of the more like popular comic books are just it's simple. It's simple and stupid.
Yeah.
Like we're just having fun with it. Like if this isn't fun, like that's the problem I have with a lot. It's like this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's just not fun. Like I'm not like I watched Ant-Man when it came out and I watched it on like 1, 2, 3 movies. It's like this isn't fun. You know what?
Quantumania, you mean?
Quantumania. Dude, you know when I had fun when I last went to the movies? Fucking Barbie.
Oh, seen it twice. I love that movie.
Amazing.
Dude,
I haven't seen it yet.
Incredible, iconic.
And you would have
simple.
I didn't think I was going to like it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: it's simple and fun, and even the insightfulness.
It was stupid.
Works.
Yeah,
maybe I'll see it tomorrow.
And now I just harass Lulu all the time now because
it was super self-aware. It understood what it was supposed to do. It knew that it was cam.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, it's fun. The new Ninja Turtles movie was good too, and I was shocked.
I just saw
I've heard good things. I'm seeing it next week. Yeah,
and even the latest Fast and Furious movie, like it didn't perform up, but what I liked about it is that it returned, like it finally embraced itself. Simple, stupid. Yeah, I love it.
I want to talk a little bit about the writer's strike before I crash because I'm kind of dying. I want to say this. Obviously, everything that they're writing for or everything that they're fighting for is very important. I hope it gets resolved soon, and I hope that they get what they are asking for. I hate AI. AI stopped being fun when ChatGPT stopped letting me write poems about Misty from Pokemon sitting on Diglets. And
it stopped you.
It stopped me after a while.
What did it say?
It was like you've had enough, sir. You're cut off.
It said that it was no longer doing like inappropriate ones. So,
what the fuck?
You broke AI.
I broke AI.
You were such a deviant. You broke AI.
I broke AI.
You should have said Doug Trio instead.
That's true. I should have just let the Diglett evolve.
Yo, you are a
That is
wild
wild.
boy.
I've been waiting all week to say this to you, bro.
This might be worse than Mark's pitches. Jesus
Maybe.
Christ.
You
don't-
haven't heard all of yeah, I'm being
don't-
polite and not giving out any right now.
I'm being polite and not sharing these poems.
Oh my god. Can you please?
I was gonna
like,
say you've
put
been
them in
sitting
the
on
group
telling
chat?
us that longer than Misty's been sitting on Diglett.
Can I please what, Cosmic?
Can you please send it to the group chat?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah,
at some point.
please.
Yeah,
At least one.
I'm not
I
even
need
I
to
will.
see it.
I will.
I'll be guilty by
No.
associating.
No, but
ChatGPT is
yeah,
not going to
as
talk to
far
me
as all
that.
these strikes, like they're valid. They need to be paid between writers and actors. There needs to be a shift in the way that big companies pay people, where they keep getting rich and nothing trickles down.
Yo, I mentioned it before, like this writer strike, it opened up my eyes because before this, I will be honest, like I have no problem being honest, it's my fucking platform. Like I was very naive. Like, I went into the assumption of, hey, you get a role and you do a movie, you do a TV show, and you get X amount of money every single month. It's a steady stream of income. The residuals, they're pretty fair. I was like, okay, but I didn't know. I had no idea
Not
it
like
was
that.
this bad, yo.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
I didn't realize what mini rooms were.
Yeah, I did research after the last strike because I was ignorant and I was like, oh no, this writer strike is ruining Heroes season 2. And then I was like, well, let me educate myself on the striking guild. I've looked into the Writers Guild because I wanted to join at one point, and then since then I'm like, no, if I was going to do anything to be indie anyways, because like that's just a whole headache with the guild and everything else that I was reading and looking into. I have friends, mutuals, associates that are in this that are striking. There's people who, like I said, I haven't done my podcast because I had guests lined up that are directors and producers. They're striking right now, and I even told them like, I can't wholeheartedly do podcasts talking about a lot of this stuff when people I know directly are just fighting to get living wages for what they worked on.
Yeah.
And the fact that some of these people are getting residuals for 50 cents. And I'm like, what I do for my
Some
career,
people
you can be taught. Yeah, some people owe. Like what I do for my career, I can be taught. You can't teach natural charisma and acting. You can't teach you can teach creative writing from a formulaic standpoint, but you can't teach someone how to think a certain way to be that creative. And yet they're campaigning their bills. Like that doesn't make sense. And when I see reports of, oh, this person who runs Disney, who doesn't create anything, just sits in a room, is getting more in a day than like collectively a whole entire state of workers probably makes in a month. Like,
yeah,
that's when I'm like, there's something wrong there. What do you need triple digit millions a month for?
Like
to live
like obviously, I get, if like you're CEO, you make a certain amount. Like that's honestly for me, cool, whatever. But then for me, like it doesn't make sense. Like I get it, you're high position, make the money, cool, but when you're just sitting there being comfortable and it's just like, bro, there's people who are like the people that are in the trenches that are working, and they are the reasons why you're getting that kickback every single fucking year, but yet they are the ones living like check to check, project to project, and they gotta struggle to make ends meet. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
That's
just like
insane.
And it's just like the comics broke me tag that was going too, seeing these comic artists in their page rates. And then I'm like, is every creative market that's like controlled by publishers and this and that, like, how has nothing like it makes no sense if you're making this amount of money and you don't like the people who make you that money should not be struggling.
It hurts.
That's corporate in general.
Oh, I know. I'm a corporate sellout. I can't really talk, but like those below me is struggling. But they're all cogs in the wheel. But it's like there's no reason why. Like the guy didn't want to give away what show he was on, but he was on the show like 20 years ago. He sold one of his residual checks. It was like 10 cents, and I was like, "What? If it's airing constantly, it's on." And I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a wrestling fan. There was this issue with WWE when they started their network. How were like a lot of the wrestlers like how because they were independent contractors, so like how did residual work? You're using me on the streaming, and that was something now that, but WWE they never publicly said how anything was handled, but no one has any issues now, and they figured out the streaming residual issues real quick because let's face it, they're independent contractors. Like we just won't go out there and work for you. And they're not a union anyways, but they were able to figure it out, but they didn't have to publicly say how they handled the residuals. And it's not just residuals are one of many numerous things. I was reading all the documents and I was reading like the union reps or like the studios like replies, and they're like, no. And I think A24 is one of the only studios that's like yes to everything. So they're, and that's great. I want more studios like that. A24, I already love them ahead of time. Now I'm just like, you guys care. They even said, we care. This is what they want. Fine. Done.
And they pump out great content. And they use amazing people in them. And it shows that, hey, this isn't hard to do.
And the studios that do stuff like that, they're the ones that are going to be elevated now. The studios that care. Because now actors are going to want to work with them. Writers, producers, everyone's going to want to work with them because they know they're going to get treated and paid fairly.
But and I guess the other question too is just like, what does this? Let's just say it's over, and like this ends tomorrow or like next week. Like, how do we think this is gonna affect streaming? Because I think streaming is like the big thing right now. Because like the talk is just like one of the reasons why a Netflix or Disney Plus or whoever will not release their streaming numbers is because if they really were to release them, this bitch would crash. And like folk would really have more of a case.
Oh yeah.
Like how do we think that's going to affect
people are
things?
home all day, or it's so accessible on your phone. People are constantly streaming. People are streaming 24 hours a day. People have
there's literally a year where most of us, depending on where you lived, couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're already seeing the effects though. The pricing of all these monthly subscriptions are already going up.
Yeah,
that's why for the people from the show. No. That's the sad part. It's for the corporate. It's for
and they're probably going to be like, okay, we'll cave into your deals once they got that surplus of money coming in, and then
the public is pretty wise now. Where everyone's like, fine, raise it.
$20
a month. We're also getting ad tiers now.
Yeah.
Which is annoying.
Ad blocker.
Yeah, I mean, I use ad blocker. But
like I said, I think the general public is privy to the strike now, and they're privy to what corporate is doing. Everyone's going to cancel their subscriptions, or majority of people who are in the know, majority of the younger people are going to cancel their subscriptions.
Yeah. I canceled Netflix because I was paying $20 a month for 4K streaming, which is atrocious.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I'm
what are you even fucking watching?
I was watching RRR on loop, man. That movie is great. I love that movie so much. I've seen it like 20 times. And once again, it's one of those movies that Netflix bought the rights to it from Bollywood, and then they stream it, no physical release. That's another thing that's annoying me because I
like physical media. Yeah.
I love physical media, and there's so much stuff I can get. They pulled, even though I didn't like the Willow TV series, I would have wanted it in my collection at least because I like Willow. And it's gone from digital, never got a physical.
Yeah,
Stranger Things never got any physical releases past season 2.
Really?
Yeah, only 1 and 2 because I got both the ones that look like the VHS tapes. They never released 3 or 4.
Oh,
did they not sell
I had no idea.
They sold well, but Netflix now is just like, oh well, if you want to keep watching it, you got to be signed up.
Okay.
So with these price increases, like if this gets resolved within a week or even tomorrow, like we won't know 100% really what was resolved in detail because they're not going to show it. So we don't know. So it's like, probably know it could be on the cusp of being resolved as we speak. One day it'll be strikes over.
Like talks are going to start resuming.
Yeah. Well, I know it's the weekend, but like it's one of those things where it's like, we're never going to be privy to all the details of what got resolved. It's just going to be business as usual. Everyone goes back to filming. And that's what happened when the whole strike last time. The only difference is we have the writers and the actors at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like this to just change Hollywood. I don't like the idea of like there's this level of almost every industry where like major corporations are assholes. Like I've worked for a lot of major corporations.
Yeah.
I've worked for Microsoft. I worked for IBM. Like I don't like working for corporations, but I see how things go. It's like everyone can make money and be happy. Yes, you want the higher ups want to make more money, but it's like this is more common decency.
Yeah.
When I'm looking up things, they're talking about meals and breaks and food and like travel and like this and that. And I'm like, this is just so you can get to work, so you can be well rested and fed. When you should, there should not, food should not be something they're like in their strike list. That should be something that's a given. You're going to be here for 12 hours on set. You're telling me you can't even get a hot pocket.
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
And they do it. Yeah,
I hate to cut this off. I am dying.
No. So no. Hey, listen. Yeah, shit. I didn't realize we've been going on for like that long either. Jesus Christ. I
am mad sleepy.
I was back.
No, it's about that time anyways, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, let's definitely like wrap this up because
But I want us to get together again soon when we're.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah.
Did I miss all the Masterverse talk? Or
no, we're gonna save that for another.
We're gonna save that for next time.
We'll save it for next time. Yes, I promise when I get back from Chicago, which will be in like I'm leaving next week. When I get back, like mid-September, we'll be back. We will not spend this long without seeing each other.
Because I'll be at Japan World Heroes anyway, so I wouldn't be around.
You're going to Japan?
Japan World Heroes.
Oh, got me excited.
I wish. Okay, like
Pokemon Worlds is in Japan.
I know,
weekend, and I'm
that's why I want.
I'm so annoyed. I'm not.
I saw all the stuff, and I was like, I should be there. I was not invited.
My friend who's working the event got me a Pikachu.
Hey.
Yeah, and he went to the Pokemon Cafe and got me some Pikachus there. I've got a whole collection. I used to staff events.
Oh, nice.
For Pokemon Worlds and stuff.
Is Pikachu your favorite Pokemon, or is just like,
no?
The most
accessible? Latios is my favorite one. Latios, Lucario, and Salamence and Lugia. But Pikachu is up there because in 2013 Vancouver World Championships, that was the year that I found out I passed my first medical licensing exam, and I found out when my plane landed, and I was like very scared to like open it up until I got to the hotel, and then I'm working backstage and nobody knew how to put on the new Pikachu costume that they had made for the event. And so somebody pointed at me and it was like, well, what about you? And I'm like, well, what about me? And all of a sudden I'm in the giant Pikachu costume that weekend. And there's a picture I can't show while we're on this VOD. But it's me after being in the costume for 3 hours. And
no.
Yeah, but it like so now Pikachu is definitely like up there, and so I've got a whole Pikachu plush collection of Pikachus from around the world.
So it's like your good luck charm / like totem for
that's
you,
really
like
cool.
That's nice. That's your memory anchor.
Yeah,
that explains why Gengar is not your favorite then.
Yes,
or Sylveon top 2.
Next time when we get on stream, you guys show us the collection, brother.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, that went the wrong way. I thought you were gonna like next time on stream you're gonna put the costume on.
Oh,
I mean,
no, that costume probably smells of sweats and farts. No thanks.
Jesus.
Yeah.
We'll get it dry cleaned.
There you go. It's not too bad. You can do that.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up. I'll give you guys a second each to like plug yourselves.
Sure.
Ben, we could start with you. I'll put your stuff.
All right. You can find me at Dr. Ben MD on X or Twitter or whatever. But fuck off and leave me alone.
Okay. All right. Cosmic. There you go.
Jesus. Cosmic Ranger 006 on Twitter, and then my link tree is in the bio with my Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, Threads, every freaking social media app. I'm everywhere.
Word. And last but not least, Mark.
Oh, there's me. I gotta update that photo. Damn. Yeah. So nerd name Mark on everything because obviously branding. I am launching more merch this month at some point. I'm waiting for the rest of the samples to come in, and you could, if you have any cool Power Ranger crossovers with other TV shows, please feel free to send them to Dr. Ben. Sharing is caring.
Sure.
Like, he wants you to leave him alone. I want you to give him all the great crossovers because I'm not allowed to say any right now.
Okay.
So the My Little Pony one is insane.
I was just thinking about that one too.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you should let that one cook some more because I like that one too.
Yeah, but yeah,
But also,
I'm trying to get into live streaming because like I check out your streams, bro, and like I like the idea of like just chilling and talking with chat, like especially comic books because I don't have the time to make 20 or 30 comic book videos a week. Like I don't even know how Cosmic tweets all the comic book stuff that you tweet. Like I don't even I can't
it can
organize
be
my
overwhelming.
thoughts. Yeah,
I do it literally like at work.
yeah,
So
and,
I'm like, I'm doing 2 jobs and making sure I get everything done.
yeah. I don't
It's
know.
a lot.
I commend you, like, because I follow, like, I did a Green Arrow video and I haven't followed up yet because like I don't have time. But like you guys, from a comic book standpoint, whether it's tweets or videos, consistency. So I'm like kind of like watching. I'm like, okay, how are they doing it? All right, that's how it works. Okay, I'm gonna try this.
I get pressed, so I'm allowed to read it a few days early, which helps me get it out in a timely manner.
I do too. That's the downside. Is I'm bad at this. I tell everyone I'm the most random lucky person that I've gotten to where I have been over the last decade with.
I'm also strictly Power Ranger, so that helps me too. Like I keep it just one thing because otherwise I lose my mind.
Oh God, yeah. That's why I don't. Maybe one day I'll get to a point where I can, do a number of different videos for like different comic books. But that's why I like doing my deep dive stuff because it's like I can put out like one long form video like once every 2 months, and it's focused. But the idea of tackling everything, including Power Rangers, like on a weekly or daily basis, I can't.
Yeah.
So salute to you guys.
Stuff. Your DC stuff is good because I bought this is on my pull list now. Green Arrow. Okay. So trust me, yeah. And I haven't pulled Green Arrow since Brightest Day.
I don't think I can become a content creator. I just don't have it in me. And I really just enjoy just crashing your stuff and everybody else's.
Well, technically speaking, you are a content creator because you're on my channel, so you do count.
Kind of like a guilty by association type of thing. Honestly,
no. But I mean, I don't think I can like create a brand for myself or whatever.
Dude, your doctor, we could do it. Like, listen, I got already crossover ideas for doctor stuff. Like Doogie Howser, hear me out. Like Doogie Howser, right? But with comic books. You're fixing the comic books with medical precision. You are fixing stories and comic books.
Ooh.
All right.
You don't have a Doctor Ranger, like a doctor.
We will discuss this.
I also have a Doogie Howser Power Ranger crossover.
Well, I don't want to hear it. Thank you.
No. He doesn't want to hear it now. He doesn't hear it now.
I don't want to hear it now.
I actually don't have any of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we do reconvene in like a month, get cooking.
Also, look at this. Hopefully everyone's hyped for Blue Beetle. This statue.
I'm hyped for Blue Beetle.
I'm looking forward to it.
Popcorn bucket.
McFarlane Toys is killing it with that.
Beetle.
What'd you say, Cosmic?
I've seen those in store.
That's Cinemark only, right?
That they have. Yeah, it's at Cinemark. They're like $30, but it looks incredible.
It looks pretty cool. You could probably get it on the Cinemark website.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Maybe I will.
Because this just dropped. Also, this trade, finally.
Good timing. That's right.
Because they haven't promoted it. The run continues in September.
Yep. I'm already subbed to it.
So yeah, that's all. That's all I have to promote. Is I just want people to like enjoy obscure comic book movies that honestly I hope does well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard great things.
got good things coming. I will be in attendance for Blue Beetle,
I'll be
100%.
there.
That's a banger right there.
Oh, yeah.
Bro,
A
promote
banger in the
yourself.
making.
Yeah, you got to promote yourself too.
Yeah.
Oh shit. My shit's not even loaded. And quite honestly, oh wait, that's a
Okay.
lie here. I guess. Yeah. Hey guys. Roliver Queen reviews. We hit 570. Thank you. I will be back with some stuff soon, I guess. But that Thomas Wayne video knocked away all my energy. But I do have something else in the pipeline. I think I'll put a poll up to see what people want. Either I'll do like a long form video on Doomsday Clock, and how that derailed DC. Um, I think that might be my next project. So it'll be very ambitious, but I think I can do it. And I got some other things in the pipeline. And
Do
yeah,
you
the
want to
comics
do
code.
something? Do you want to do something with Superior Spider-Man? Because that's coming back.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, if you want to do a
I
live about that,
don't-
I'll jump in. I read that whole run.
Don't fuck with Spider-Man. Like
Okay.
I don't fuck with Spider-Man.
Okay.
Like I don't know
Smart.
why. It's just like they
smart option.
It's okay.
Marvel does.
It's fine.
Yeah, Marvel does not care about that character. Like I know it still sells, but I can tell like they don't give a shit, and I don't want
Post
to
Amazing
contribute to
Spider-Man
that.
700, they didn't care anymore as much, anyways.
But I don't know. I'm open to doing like collabs and stuff. It's been a while since I've been.
Yeah.
If I wanted to do, I love to do like something Power Rangers related because it's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely have that conversation. But yeah,
Sure.
please go ahead, subscribe. I'll be back with stuff soon, but I think I'm gonna take a little bit of a break because I'm not burnt out, but I am a little tired because I put a lot of time, blood, sweat, and tears, and money into that last video, and it's I'm seeing the benefits of it. It's all coming back in tenfold. So thank you to everybody who's been checking it out. Thank you.
Good stuff.
But yeah, guys, we will be back. I promise it's not gonna take that long. I give it a month. Let me go to Chicago. Let me go get some shit out the way. But we will be back, and we'll be back better than ever, and without any issues. Because the reason why we're going on this fucking late is because my computer wants to act up, but I got it fixed. But much love, much peace. Ben, Cosmic, Mark, I appreciate y'all so much. I know it's
We
late.
appreciate you.
but
We
thank
love
you.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Always a
much for having
pleasure.
me.
Thank you.
Always fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, y'all. Thank you, guys. Be easy. Peace.